This has been a special presentation of Big Z Sports. Thank you for joining us for the Big Z Sports Preview Show presented by the Caleb Fell Real Estate Team. Tonight's broadcast was also presented by Sammy Sue's Barbecue, Tuscarawas Insurance Agency, TMK Valley Propane, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, First National Bank of Denison, Hartzler's Quality Housing, Wood Electric, Keim Home Center, Niedenthal and Company, First Federal Community Bank, and Dr. Nathan Springer. Tune in August 17th right here on 99.9 WTUZ as we kick off Week 1 of the 2023 high school football season. Follow Big Z Sports on Facebook, on X at @Big_Z Sports, and on Instagram. Until next week, this has been a presentation.
But, getting done with softball seemed like it was yesterday, and football's here today, and we're just over a week away from game number 1, Nick.
Yeah, just over a week away, and you say about it feeling like football weather, maybe a little too humid for me still. I'm still waiting for about this time when that chill starts setting into the air, and it's going to be high school football season. But it's just great to once again be able to come here to Sammy Sue's, see the community come together, and everybody celebrate the start of a new season. And what a season it might be, Travis.
Oh, yeah, I look forward to this every year. Joe and I talked when we were doing 2-days and scrimmages, and that's when real football comes in. But like Nick, I like when they wake up Friday morning, there's a little hard frost on the ground, and about 8 hours from there's kickoff. Can't wait.
And there might be a little frost at that point, too, sometimes. You get a frost in the morning. That cool air that you get in the fall, you walk outside, and you're like, yeah, that's that smell of football.
It's so exciting. It's the renewed hope. And high school is so different because when you graduate a kid and they move on, the new crop comes, but it's renewed hope. You're 0 and 0. It doesn't matter what happens in the past. Everybody's new. Everybody's excited. Everyone's fired up. I can't wait. And I get to be with you Week 1 Thursday night.
You do. Week 1, a week from tomorrow, of course, is our first play-by-play game of the season. The Fairless Falcons, they will play host to the Sandy Valley Cardinals. That will be our first game. And then Friday night will be game number 2 of Week 1. We'll be on the hill in Sugar Creek for the Garaway Pirates as they usher in a bunch of new talent. We'll talk with head coach Jason Wallach coming up about that. They lost a bunch of kids off of the team last year from those regional semifinal teams, and they will bring in some new talent and welcome in Bel Air for Week 1. We saw Bel Air last year on that Saturday when it was about 98 degrees and 7,000% humidity, and that was a great game. I'm thinking we'll have the same thing.
I'm just finding it really funny that you're still complaining about that, but those poor kids were down there giving it their all, sweating and everything, but there's Joe up in the booth saying, I can't handle this, I can't do this.
And on the turf, it's 110.
Yeah, it's
probably worse than that.
98 outside and 100. Well, it's grass down there, so it's probably a little cooler.
Yeah, but speaking of Garaway Bel Air, we've got to see them the last 3 years, and it's been great football. We went down there and back up, up here, back down there on a Saturday. You remember that early game, and that was a tight one, and an extra point was the difference there. Then back up here, and it should be a good one for you Week 1.
The extra point was missed down there because the grass was about 6 feet tall. Honestly, like you couldn't see the kids' shoes.
No,
do you remember that?
I do remember that, and you are correct.
Yeah.
That is why you call it home field advantage.
Absolutely.
The home field advantage cost them in that one.
Well, it did,
the home team shanked an extra point.
We've got a lot of fun stories to tell about, of course, past years and stuff, but we're going to talk to 8 area coaches tonight. There's several that could not make it due to team practice or another event came up. They had a prior commitment, so we understand that, but we appreciate the 8 coaches that will be here with us tonight. We'll still talk about some of the teams that aren't here, but obviously you want to check out their Big Z Sports 2-a-days feature. You can check that out on our Facebook page, WTUZ Big Z Sports. Follow us on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's called X now.
X, yeah.
And
I thought it was 10.
10X, I don't know what it is. But you can follow us there.
Too many people don't know Roman numerals.
At Big_Z Sports. You can find us on Instagram and, of course, right here on YouTube. If you have not checked out our YouTube channel, make sure you do that really fast because we will live stream all of our shows that you see right here, our Wednesday night shows, and, of course, our live play-by-play games as well each week, minus a couple games. But most of the time, we will have every game live streamed on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe because it's free. We don't charge you for that, and it's a free access for you to watch some of the area's best talent and some of the area's best teams perform each week.
Yeah, and we're so happy to be able to provide that, but not just for the fans out there who maybe can't make it to the game or just want to go back and relive some moments, also for every one of the players. Sure. So many times I've been doing this, I don't know how many years, 4 years now, I guess.
Fourth year.
In my fourth year with it. And having so many players who come up and say, I'm so happy that I get to go back and watch that. I'm so happy that down the road, maybe you could show a relative who wasn't able to make the game. It's just something that's really cool. We're very happy to bring it to everybody in Z Country.
And I think one of the coolest things for me, like you said, you can go back and watch it, but when we get a message from a relative that may, like a grandparent
out
that
in
lives
Arizona
or Florida or California, somewhere like that, and man, I was able to watch my grandson play football. That was so awesome.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why we do it.
Yeah, and I remember during a game, in the rivalry game, Week 10, we reached like 22 states.
Yeah.
It was impressive. And let's be real, we have good sports in this area. We're pretty fortunate in the Tuscarawas Valley to have pretty good sports programs. And when you go out, luckily you see other programs. Like I was fortunate enough to play football in college, so you see a melting pot of teams, and it's like, what was your league like, and what was your area like? And they're like, ooh, we're pretty blessed around here with not only good football, but good baseball, good basketball,
good
soccer. I mean, we got some good programs around here, and we're pretty fortunate to be able to cover them.
Most people know that I grew up in Southwest Ohio, down around Cincinnati.
Great
So there's a
football
lot
down
of great stuff down there as well. But moving up here, I'm like, man, what's it going to be like? And you get a lot. You get that small school feel. And these kids are out here giving it all they have.
Sure.
I've seen high school teams that had 130 kids on their team and 99 were seniors. So, you see that and you're like, oh my gosh. And then you get up here, you have teams that have 50, 60 kids, and they're going both ways, and they're busting their butt every night, every week, and every day at practice. So a lot of great football, a lot of great sports around here, and it's a lot of fun to do some high school sports. And big thanks to the Caleb Fell Real Estate team for sponsoring our show here tonight at Sammy Sue's, our Big Z Sports preview show. Live from Sammy Sue's. Missing somebody pretty big tonight. First time in 8 years he has not been at our preview show. He is enjoying the beach, and hopefully he has sunscreen on. And Chris Kale, have fun down there, bud. We'll see you soon next week, actually. So don't be late, and don't stay down there another week. So Chris on vacation, not with us tonight for our preview show. But you know what? The show goes on, and that's what he wanted us to do.
He's going to show up with a sunburnt top of his head and sunburnt top of his feet. That's what I expect.
I think I don't know. I saw a picture of him today. He had some kind of, I think it was a pink
bucket hat.
A bucket hat. And so I think he's protecting his head a little bit, which is smart.
So it'll just be top of the feet then.
Because he is pretty pasty white, so we'll see how the rest of him comes back.
Don't you go knocking people who are pasty white.
Another
right?
one sitting next to me, But anyway, we're going to have a lot of fun here tonight. We're going to take a break,
Football
come back,
show.
and we are going to be joined by our first coach. That's coming up after this. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here with Z Country and Claxton Communications with Z Country on 99.9 WTUZ.
The First National Bank of Denison appreciates the hard work and dedication area athletes exhibit to be the best they can be for their team. We follow that same philosophy with our customers, working hard to build personal relationships and making our services convenient. The First National Bank of Denison's community involvement is important to us, and we love supporting our local schools. The First National Bank of Denison, with offices in Denison, Dover, Jeanette and Hutton, South Broadway, and Schunbrunn and New Philadelphia. We have our roots where others have their branches. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Novelis, the world's largest aluminum recycler in Yorksville, is having a job fair this Wednesday and Thursday from 2 to 8 p.m. Novelis is looking for general laborers, equipment operators, and skilled trade positions that start at $22 an hour with industry-leading benefits. Bring your resume for an immediate interview. Stop by the Town Place Suites by Marriott at 1298 West High Avenue in New Philadelphia this Wednesday and Thursday from 2 to 8 p.m. for the Novelis Job Fair.
Fell can sell. When you choose the Caleb Fell Real Estate team, you can count on local expertise, terrific communication, an expert negotiator on your side, and detail-oriented service throughout the process. Real estate does not have to be difficult or stressful. Choose a team that will make the process quick, easy, and professional start to finish. Whether you are ready to buy or ready to sell, make sure you call Caleb Fell with the Caleb Fell Real Estate team.
Hi, I'm Zach Motice with the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. For all your auto, home, farm, and business insurance needs, contact our team at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency or stop in and see us at one of our 3 locations in Sugar Creek, Strasburg, and downtown New Philadelphia, providing excellent service to the Tuscarawas Valley since 1885. Everyone here at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency would like to wish all area athletes and teams good luck.
This is RJ Jacobs from DAC Vitamins and Minerals. Did you know that DAC Vitamins and Minerals has more than 40 proven equine supplements that include daily multivitamins, joint, digestion, reproduction and fertility, calming, and many other specialty products? DAC also carries a complete line of livestock products called DAC Show Contender. Feed DAC Vitamins and Minerals to get the competitive edge in the show pen. We've been feeding champions since 1983.
TMK Valley Propane is embracing remote tank monitors. Are you tired of going outside to check your propane tank or forget to order your propane on time? TMK Valley Propane now provides reliable remote tank monitoring technology. Let TMK Valley Propane take the worry away, provide timely delivery, and never run out of propane again. Thank you for your trust in TMK Valley Propane.
All the way with TMK, service with a personal touch.
This is Jordan Hartzler. At Hartzler's Quality Housing, our goal is to help customers achieve the dream of home ownership. We have been a family-owned, affordable housing business for over 40 years. We value our customers and have the knowledge and experience to help you walk through the home buying process from start to finish.
Conveniently located just off I-77 in New Philadelphia, stop by and browse their model homes or learn more by visiting Hartzlers.com. Wood Electric has been trusted with all of your electrical needs for over 30 years. They are the place to call for residential, commercial, and industrial work. Wood Electric is available 24 hours a day and ready to help with any electrical problem, outage, or installation. Wood Electric, serving Tuscarawas County and beyond since 1988. Like Wood Electric on Facebook or find them online at woodelectric.net.
In Dover, Joe Geckler, Travis McClellan, and we are joined by our first coach here tonight on our preview show. Thanks to the Caleb Fell Real Estate Team, we welcome in Ridgewood head coach John Slusser. Coach, here we are, 2023, the season a little over a week away. You guys don't play till Friday night, the 18th, but how is the preseason camp going? We talked to you a couple weeks ago during two-a-days. How's the camp been going as you're getting ready for the season?
Yeah, I think okay. You know, every camp's different, right? I don't care how many years you do it. You know, there's different faces, different kids, different problems, and every year you either bring back guys that have been playing or guys that haven't. But ultimately, you always have positions to fill and different kids. But it's been normal. We've had a few minor injuries, thank God, no big ones. Sure. But you know, we've had twisted ankles and people in and out like everybody else. So I think it's went well. Good.
Coach, this is your 19th season leading the show, right? How many years as an assistant?
I think it was 12. I think it's 31 total.
So 31. So being there 31 years on the sideline, what's something special about Friday nights in West LA?
Oh, it's an awesome place. The community's so great there. You know, it's funny you said that. Just the other day I was talking to someone. We were talking about growing up and the regrets you have as a kid. You know, we all wish we'd go back and change things. And I said, 2 things in my whole life that I would never change is the woman I chose to marry and the place I chose to work.
That's awesome.
I mean, that community's just awesome to be in. The people are good, community's good, and I've coached the best kids in the world. Not so much talent-wise, I'm not saying that.
Sure.
But the best kids you ever want to be around. The parents have done a great job raising them, and boy, it's been an awesome thing. And not to mention this, the group of guys I work with it's special.
Yeah.
It's special.
Coach, looking at those kids that you were talking about over the last 4 or 5 years, it's been a really special place in West LA. That talent, some more of that talent that you've had that on your regional regional finals teams, I should say, are now gone. Josiah Cahill, Colin Smith, Caleb Schrock, Quincy Haynes, to name a few. talk about your seniors from last year one more time, and obviously what they meant to your program, and they accomplished a lot in their time at Ridgewood.
Yeah. It was a great group of kids. Listen, you guys know this because you guys have been around the program now for a while. I've been so blessed since 2005. We've had so many good teams, good kids, athletes go on and do well. They're all special, but that was a big group of kids. It was unusual. I think there was 20 seniors on that team. That's an unusually big group for us. If you get 14, 15 is usually pretty good for a school our size. So losing that group meant a lot to our school. I mean, it meant a lot to all the programs because they filled out a lot of the numbers. And anytime you lose a group like that, it hurts. And we're recovering from it a little bit, but life goes on.
8-4 last year, Coach. 3-2 in the IVC. You fell in round 2 of the Division 5 Region 17 playoffs, and that was a rematch from Week 10. And obviously, when you play in Week 10, you play your rival Week 10 in this area at the Garaway Pirates. They got you Week 10, 29-0. They turn around 21-6 in the playoffs. But it's kind of sour, probably a sour taste in your mouth a little bit for the program. You lose to lose to your rival twice.
Right, it is.
And it's hard because you're like, it's hard to stomach it once.
Right.
And you turn around the week after that, you get them again. And what do you take from that, and what do you tell your kids that are coming back that were there? Maybe some of those kids didn't play in those 2 games, but they're coming back to your program and saying, hey, keep that bitter taste in your mouth.
Honest, and you guys, I don't know how often you've been around, but you can ask any of my kids. You have Dalton working for you now, so you can ask him. I don't talk about the other opponents very often. We don't do a lot of that stuff. We may make comment to something somebody said or something, but it's not a big deal in our program. But to your point, losing to Garaway is hard for us because it's a big game to us, and ultimately, I'd like to think that's how we're measured a lot of times. I'm very upset with the football gods last year, giving us them twice in the same season. They got probably their best team, you know what I mean, and giving us both times on their field. I thought it was a cruel joke by the football gods, but it's been a great rivalry. Jason and his staff are just incredible. Losing to Garaway is hard for us because they beat us 2 years ago at our place, and that was one where we were the better team probably, and they won. That's a credit to Jason and his kids.
Sure.
But that was one we couldn't lose, and we did. So now we're on a 2-year losing streak because I'm not counting the playoff game. We're on a 2-year losing streak.
It's the same year, so it's just still a 2-year losing streak.
But it really doesn't count as postseason.
How about a 3-game losing streak?
No, I won't even count that. I'm not acknowledging it. But listen, it's something we want to change.
Sure.
And we want to get back to that.
Coach, you've had a lot of success. We talked about the kids. We talked about last year, 8-4. Let's talk about this year. What about your kids coming back? Obviously, the goals are the same. I know you're going to tell us, I don't know how good we're going to be, but
they're going to stink. What he's going to say.
You just keep rolling them out down there. You just keep rolling them out. If you look at an 8-win season and say, oh man, maybe that wasn't up to the Ridgewood General standards, but that's pretty good football,
Right. No, listen.
So you got some kids coming back.
Listen, I was very proud of our kids last year being 8-4, and I told Joe this the first day. The 4 teams we lost to were. They were no sisters of the poor. There was no upset there. I mean, those teams were legit. Yeah. I was really proud of our team last year, and they probably exceeded my expectations from that standpoint. That's what we're going to try to do with this group. We are a different team. I don't know what I said this last year. I'm going to say the same thing. I don't know what our high end is. I don't know what we can get 2 wins. I mean, we know Indian Valley's pretty good in the league. We know Sandy's pretty good. Garaway's obviously pretty good. Our non-conference schedule's pretty good. You throw in Carrollton and West Branch. I don't know what our top end is, but I did see this Saturday. We went and scrimmaged for the first time out, and we were against some pretty good football teams. My kids battled like all the other Ridgewood teams. We got after it. We played extremely hard. We did not always play good, but we always played hard.
Sure.
And I was proud of them. I just want everybody that plays us when they say, you know what, the Ridgewood, they lined up and played hard, and we had to play right to beat them. And I hope that's what they say.
Obviously, a lot of teams in the area this year going after quarterback battles in the preseason. You have one as well. How's that coming along? Have you named a starter? Have you still working on it?
We really haven't. We've right now we've got Grant Lammers, who's a junior, and that's kind of who we've been going with, and Grant's done fine. But we have another kid, Jace McQueen, who's a sophomore. They're both kind of, just we're kind of waiting to see which one takes the bull by the horns and takes over. We may play both, or we may move somebody else there. I grade the quarterback position just like everything else. If I have a defensive end that's not getting it done, we make moves. If we have a receiver that's not getting it done, if the quarterback play is not up here in a week or two, then we'll make changes accordingly and do what we have to and switch what we have to. But both those kids are good kids. They both come from great families. They'll figure it out. And they'll both contribute somewhere, even if they're not the quarterback. They'll be a big part of Ridgewood football going forward.
Sure, yeah. There's a lot of tinkering going on between now and week 3. It kind of settles down after that, but
absolutely.
We talked about all your guys. Let's talk about your schedule a little bit. Obviously we just talked about the IVC, which is brutal football. There's no weeks off there. Does West Branch have their quarterback back? Let's go there.
No, he went to Kent State.
Because your 3 losses last year were, correct me if I'm wrong, West Branch with that kid who could sling it.
Regional final teams.
Yeah, regional final.
3 losses were regional teams.
Yeah. So,
yes. Garaway was the only one that wasn't in the regional finals.
Yeah, regional semi. Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
Indian Valley, Garaway. I mean, that's nothing to say.
No, the teams we lost to, I don't know that we could have beat them if we had a really good team.
Sure. And so opening up week 1, you got. Maybe not your rival, but your county rival there. Talk about that, facing the Redskins week 1 and how that goes with the kids and the community and all that.
It's a big game in our community. I think it's died down a little bit over the years. For a while it was really uncompetitive from our end.
Sure.
It was like 20 years where I don't know that we beat them maybe one time in 20 years. It was rough sled.
They had some good football down there.
We basically dropped them because we got tired of getting beat by them for a while. And they really wanted to bring it back and play it. And we kept saying, and finally we got it back, and it still brings out the community. It doesn't bring out the crowds it once did, but it's still pretty good. They're waiting now to get us. It's kind of the roles have been reversed. We've won 5 or 6 in a row now, so it's on them. And ultimately to get that eventually, we got to get where we're both pretty good and we're both winning back and forth. Part of the Dover-Philly game.
Absolutely.
You can't have it one side, and it was before, and now it's been. So as soon as that changes, it'll be a great game again. I think it might change this year. They're pretty good. So they got nice skill kids. They got their quarterback back. That'll be a tough first game out of the chute for us.
You open up at home against Coshocton. You go to another rivalry. That 36 rivalry, Route 36 rivalry with Riverview. You got to travel over there and take on Coach Lasecki and his ball club. That's always a physical game. You got them last year, 41-14, but you come out of that and you're like, man, that was a physical game no matter the score.
Right. Yeah, like you said, anytime you play county schools, it's the kids excited, and the community gets a little more excited. Like I said, those rivalries are nice because they're close, and I think you should get together and play them. I've changed my mind on that a lot over the years. We don't play Newcomerstown anymore, which was always a close game for us and a rivalry game. So I see how when you don't play them, how you miss them.
Sure.
But I'm glad we played those 2 games. But then we can move on to Carrollton, West Branch. West Branch lost their quarterback.
At least you got him at home this year.
Yeah. Anyhow, he went to Kent State. That was as good a quarterbacks we've ever played at Ridgewood.
What was his
really
name?
good.
Do you remember, Trav? Because Brock Lowry was where? He was at
Brock Lowry was at Canfield.
That's Canfield.
Yeah.
Well, they played to start the year, and Canfield beat them 35-33 in overtime. It was a heck of a football game.
By the way, Canfield won the D3 title.
I know.
They had just somebody on the field that was better than everybody else because he had 5 tutties.
I don't think West Branch would have won the state because they would have eventually ran into Glenville.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But had that kid played, he tore his ACL.
Yeah, he did.
And he didn't play, but the kid they played was a junior, and he played against us in the JV game. He's about 6'4", about 210, and he was winging it around in the JV game. So I think he threw for 400 yards the game we replaced him for, so it's not going to be an easy game for us. There's no doubt about
iron
that.
Sharpens iron, right, Coach? That's why you play the schedule
yes,
you do.
Right.
Coach, obviously, looking at the IVC, we talked about it, that IVC South gauntlet that you got to run to. You're at Tusky Valley, you're at Indian Valley, you're at Claymont. You get Sandy Valley and Garaway at home. That's as good as the IVC's been in several years, top to bottom.
Well, listen, maybe it's because we're not as good, but I think everybody looks a lot better. You know what I mean? I remember sitting there one year, and you guys said, you guys shouldn't lose a game, Coach. And I said,
the one year I
now
asked
you're looking at it, you say, I don't know if you guys are going to win a game, Coach.
I didn't say that came from you, Coach.
I didn't say that. Now, well, the one question I did, and I got scolded for it by other people, was you go into every game and you're favored.
Right.
How do you handle that? Now, you look at the schedule this year. you're probably not going to be favored in every game.
That's right.
And how do you keep your kids focused on the task at hand? And if a couple things start not going your way, how do you keep them reeled in as a coach?
I think it's easier sometimes when you're not like that. It's really hard to stay good for a while. He was part of the Dover program, which has had, much like us, a lot of successful years. You almost get where you expect to win, and it's not as fun to play games.
Everybody gets spoiled, right,
Yes,
Coach?
right. And I was telling somebody this just the other day. I thought we went to our scrimmage the other day, and I don't know if you guys know, but we scrimmage Mentor Lake Catholic, Kirtland, West Yaga, and who was the other one that was there? Oh, East Lake North. Some pretty good football teams, right? It's a pretty good football team.
Sure.
And, you know, I thought we played really well. If you guys would have saw us, you would have thought, you guys are okay, Coach, because I did.
Sure.
But maybe my expectations were low, maybe not. But when we came home, I almost found myself Monday at practice, and I told my coach this, I'm disappointed I didn't push the kids today as hard as I could have because I felt satisfied.
Sure.
And kids get like that. And when you win all the time, it's real easy. When you win so many games, and then when you finally get into that game where you got to go, it's hard to kick it in. And whether you're really good or not, we're in that boat where every game's going to be, and I think it'll make it a little bit easier to get motivated and get things done.
It's way easier to be the hunter than it is the hunted. And, you know, winning covers up a lot of ills. You don't look at the film as tight. It just happens, not just you, across the board.
Absolutely, brother.
The kids are reading the paper and social media, and everyone's telling them how great they are.
Yep,
you don't have that same sharp edge sometimes. So when you are the hunter, now you're back on the trail, and it's a little bit easier from a mental standpoint.
Well, Coach, thanks so much, man. You've come up all the way from West L.A. to join us here. And, you know, usually you bring the fam with you. I think they're over at your daughter's house.
Yeah,
congratulations. You're a father-in-law now, right?
She lives right here now, so I'll probably never have my wife at any of this stuff with me again, you know. She always stops and sees the daughter now right in here. She's a Doverite.
We're out.
She's a Dover person.
Very good folk then.
Yep. So, but good luck this season. We will see you soon. And we look forward to covering the Ridgewood Generals. Of course, your main man, Dalton Patterson, going to be on the sidelines, so don't give him too hard of a time doing social media and stuff, talking to you maybe a little bit. So he'll be down there. You just can't put him in a uniform, Coach.
I never get mad at Dalton. I always treat him great. He knows that.
He's told us some really great stories about you.
He knows how nice I am.
Yeah, and he said that your halftime speeches are the best.
Right.
Yeah.
I always keep it good.
So we appreciate you coming up and joining us again as always, and good luck this
Thanks
season.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you guys so much for everything you guys do. We appreciate it. It's awesome for our community, man.
Yep.
Keep it going.
Thank you. John
Thanks,
Slusser,
man.
Ridgewood head coach, joining us here on our preview show. We're going to take a break, come back, and get joined by another coach. That's after this. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
In the rolling hills of Holmes County, we tend to do things a bit differently. At Kime, we're in the business of uncommon experiences, and we're here to care for your project like we care for our own. We believe that quality matters and want to help you get it right the first time, because your project deserves it. So visit Kime Home Center, your source and destination for all things home, building, and woodworking. Kime, built on trust since 1911.
This is Carly Mills. At First Federal Community Bank, our mission is to empower the financial well-being of our community one person at a time. Through integrity and quality, we earn the trust of our customers and exceed their expectations. First Federal Community Bank, investing in our community since 1898. Serving your banking needs in Dover, New Philadelphia, Yurixville, Sugar Creek, Berlin, and Mount Hope. First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC.
Is your vehicle banged up? Do you want fast, professional service to get you back on the road? This is Garrett Jacobs with AutoWorks Collision Center. We service cars, trucks, SUVs, and even semi-trucks and RVs. Whether you need auto glass replacement, paintless dent repair, assistance with warranty and insurance, or just a free estimate, AutoWorks has you covered. We even offer alignments for your heavy-duty vehicles like buses, motorhomes, and semis with our state-of-the-art Hunter alignment system. Call 330-878-4223. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Let AutoWorks of Strasburg work for you.
The certified public accountants at Niedenthal & Company believe in the value of relationships. Niedenthal & Company has been in business for over 50 years in your community, helping individuals and businesses grow. Niedenthal & Company can help manage and prepare your payroll, plan your estate, and prepare your business and personal income taxes. Stop into the Niedenthal facility on North Worcester Avenue in Dover and become a valued client today.
Dr. Nathan Springer is in the business of making smiles, specializing in braces and Invisalign for children and adults. Dr. Springer provides smiles that can be recognized anywhere. Just look at the winning smile on some of the players. Compliments of Dr. Nathan Springer Orthodontics. Hey, that smile of pride on the face of mom and dad might be from Dr. Springer too. Dr. Nathan Springer Orthodontics, in the business of making smiles, at 107 Ray Avenue Northeast in New Philadelphia.
Planning your next vacation or home improvement project and worried about managing expenses? CSB can help with that. Setting a goal is the first step to achieving your vision, and CSB's Money Manager tool helps you get started. Whether you are recovering from Christmas spending or preparing to send kids to college, the Personal Financial Management tool helps you set goals, track your spending, and monitor your progress. Money Manager is available within CSB's online banking. Check it out today. The Commercial and Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Is there anything better than high school sports? Hi, this is Dan Hosteller of Ferris Chevrolet Buick Toyota. High school sports brings out the best of our high schools and our communities, and the people at Ferris have always been behind the importance of athletics and academics. Just like we believe in the great cars and trucks that we sell and service every day. Like high school sports, we are a great tradition in the area. Ferris on the Wabash, New Philadelphia.
Big Brothers Big Sisters needs your help. Hi, this is Monique Duke, and we are committed to matching 82 children that have been waiting to meet their big. Do you have 4 hours a month that you could share with a little doing something you both enjoy? We match bigs and littles with similar interests, so this could be fishing, going to a ball game, going to church, or even shopping. If you would be interested in changing a child's life, please contact us at 330-339-6916 or visit us at bigsforkids.com/volunteer.
2023 preview show. Joe Geckler, Nick McWilliams, and we are joined now by Tusky Valley head coach Greg Dickerhoof. And Coach, first of all, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy practice schedule and prep time for this season and joining us here to talk a little Trojans football. And you come in. This is going to be your 4th season and one playoff appearance, of course. And talk to us a little bit about your seniors that left last year. You lost some good ones. Bo Wolf. You lost Drew Cogden, Bride Weezer. It's Postlethwaite, right? Postlethwaite, okay. And Bradley Lab. You lost some really good kids there at Tusky Valley. Talk about your seniors one final time.
Yeah, it's always hard. That was the first group that I had when I came in. So it's hard to lose those guys, especially when after one guy's name, it's all-time leading receiver in school history. That's a tough one to lose. But all those guys were very additive, helped build what I think we're going to have going forward. It's just tough to lose leaders and see that you see the kids grow, and it's always tough to watch them leave after you put that work in with them.
Now, Coach, you said kind of helping build into what you guys are aiming for, obviously going into your 4th season now. Where do you feel like the team is, or where do you feel like the program is? How do you feel that you have been building things there in Trojan country?
Yeah, I think that we're heading in the right direction. I think we've while the record has been what it is, I think we've fought hard and we've hung in there. It's a crucible that we go through there, weeks 5 through 10, where we have to play we play a tough schedule.
That's a gauntlet, man.
Yeah, so as I said a couple weeks ago when I had the opportunity to talk, our seniors, this group of seniors, hasn't had the chance to kind of grow behind. When I got in, we were a small group, and they had to play immediately, and that wasn't a time when that was a time when everybody in the IVC was playing 3-4 rounds in the playoffs. They were closing in on state championships. So these guys had to fight through that, and I think that fight and that grind will help them come this season as they're seniors, and hopefully turn some of those scores around for us and win some of those games.
For sure. If you look at the first half of your schedule, the non-conference, and then you get into your crossover, but the first 5 weeks you're at Waynedale. You fell to them in a heartbreaker last year, 21-20. Yeah. And if I remember right, you drove and scored late, and you missed the extra point late in the game, and you fell 21-20. And then you have Fairless. Fairless was really good last year. Like, they had a bunch of seniors. They did some special things last year. You add Martins Ferry this year. You drop off Tuslaw to the schedule. You have Malvern, and you also have Strasburg as your crossover game this year. Talk to us about the front half of your schedule.
I think it's still tough. Wayndale is always a tough team. You go over there. We're playing, over there off 250, and it's a tough place to go with a tough team. They always are. Coach Sauerball is going to have Fairless locked and loaded like he has since he's been there, especially the last 3 years. Then Martins Ferry, that will be a new team for us. We got to travel down to the river. Heard it's not too hospitable place to play.
We've been down there a couple times.
We'll make the run and we'll see what it is. And Malvern again, they're rolling in there. And Strasburg, just anytime you go over there, it's a tough place to play. So, we just got to take care of business and make sure we're getting better every day and get better every week. And I think the outcome will help us out.
Now, Coach, you mentioned about the record might not reflect necessarily what the growth that this program has had. Defensively, you guys struggled in some games last season, but I thought something that was very interesting. You guys had the turnovers. I mean, you had the ability to force some turnovers last year. How vital is that going to be for success for the Trojans this year to continue being those ball hawks?
I mean, it always is, right? The more opportunities you get to score, the more you're going to score. So I think that we always talk about that. We preach it. We drill it. And we just hope those opportunities come. Hope they're in the right place, and we can make those plays when we have the opportunity.
Coach, you do have some good kids coming back. Your senior quarterback, Cole Clemens, coming back, 1,334 yards last year, 9 touchdowns. A senior running back, Logan McKinney, injured most of the year last year, but did get some valuable playing time for you. Mm-hmm. John Leffler, wide receiver. You've got some talent coming back. What do you expect from your offense?
We just want to be consistent, and we want to be a grinded-out team that takes those shots when they're there. I think that's the most important thing is the consistency. We've had games and we have drives where we look great and we execute, and we just have to make sure the hardest thing to be in life is consistent and always come back and execute those play in and play out. And that's just what we preach, and that's what we want to see from them is that consistency grow so that more of those drives aren't stopped by the bad mistakes, dumb mistakes, and they end up in touchdowns.
With this offseason, what has been your primary focus, or what has your primary message been to your players? What has the coaching staff been kind of trying to get everybody to lock in on the most heading into the regular season?
It's always boring, but it's always just to get better every day. It's the most boring
answer. We expect those
answers.
That's all right.
But, we just talk about improving every day, improving every week. That has to be your goal. If your goal is anything other than that, and then you lose focus of the process and you worry about the outcome, you're going to end up in a worse place in the end. So, we just talk about working on that every day. Be better every day, execute better every day, know your assignment better every day, and let's see, let's see those things turn around.
And, Coach, looking at the back half of the schedule, we mentioned it, the gauntlet of the IVC South. You have Ridgewood at home. You have at Claymont, at Garraway. Then you have Indian Valley and Sandy Valley both at home to finish out the regular season. Talk to us about that gauntlet and how you're going to prepare your kids for that type of football. It's different from the front half it is to the back half.
Well, I just think it is just, listen, we're going to go into all those games, and everybody around here is going to say, hey, that's Ridgewood W, Claymont W, Garraway W, and I think that's what we just talk about. Hey, nobody here is going to say Tusky Valley is going to win this game. We got to execute. We got to take advantage when it's there. I think we have, the athletic ability. Now, are you going to take advantage of it, or are you going to, let them dictate the terms of this game? We got to start dictating more of the terms of the game than we have in the past.
Well, Coach, man, it's going to be a fun season, and we appreciate you taking time to join us here at Sammy Sue's, and hope you got something to eat and enjoying some of the other coaches here and talking with them and stuff. And we appreciate you coming out talking Trojans football. And I know the first couple of years you missed this. You've joined us at our postseason show as well, and we appreciate all you let us do for Tusky Valley, letting us come out and cover you guys and being at games and stuff. So best of luck this season, and we'll see you real soon.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, that's Coach Greg Dickerhoof joining us here on our Big Z Sports preview show live from Sammy Sue's. Big thanks to the Caleb Fell Real Estate team for the sponsorship tonight of our preview show. We're going to take a break, come back, and we will be joined by yet another head coach. That's after this. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
Cush Financial Group has been proudly serving the financial needs of local community members for over 35 years. The team at Cush Financial follows an industry-leading service model with the unique approach and fiduciary responsibilities associated with their board-certified financial planner. With over 75 years of combined experience, the advisors at Cush Financial Group are here to help you achieve your financial goals. Contact the office at 330-308-8700 or visit cushfinancial.com to schedule your free consultation today. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Independent Capital Company Incorporated, member FINRA, SIPC. Top Notch Auto on East Plum Alley in Janaden, your one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, offering an experienced staff that can handle just what you need to keep your vehicle running at its best. Top Notch Auto specializes in diagnostics with state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment. Whether your vehicle needs routine maintenance or major repairs, Top Notch Auto can handle all your vehicle needs. They also offer a large selection of tire brands, including Goodyear, Kelly, and Cooper, just to name a few. Find Top Notch Auto LLC on Facebook or call them at 740-561-4100.
The Tuscarawas County dairy farmers want you to know that low-fat chocolate milk is a great choice for student athletes and hard workers. It provides the nutrition needed after practices, games, or a hard day at work, and it tastes great. Low-fat chocolate milk is packed with carbohydrates for energy, proteins to repair muscles, fluids to rehydrate, plus vitamins and minerals to help build strong bones and bodies. It's the official beverage of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Tuscarawas County Dairy Farmers. Farms, family, food.
Based on a foundation of trust and integrity, Jeff Wallach LLC is a family-owned and operated company proudly serving the greater Northeast Ohio and surrounding communities with experience in residential and commercial projects. The pursuit of quality workmanship and commitment to superior customer service has positioned Jeff Wallach LLC as a respected installer of seamless siding, spouting, and replacement windows and doors for more than 25 years. Turn your vision into a reality by visiting jeffwallachllc.com.
PAC Drilling, a family-owned and operated company since 2005 in Bolivar, takes pride in being an economic oil and gas drilling company. PAC's objective is to contribute to American energy independence through profitable development, operation, and marketing of oil and natural gas wells. PAC also employs operating technicians to oversee each and every well drilled to maximize its productivity and longevity. Contact PAC Drilling at pacdrilling.com.
Hi, this is Jan McInturf. The past 30 years, the residents in and around the Tuscarawas County have made the call to the realtors and staff of McInturf Realty for buying and selling of residential and commercial properties. We truly live in a great community, and in all of those communities, there is nothing better than high school sports. For myself and all the agents and staff at McInturf Realty, we would like to wish all the area athletes good luck this season. And make the call to McInturf Realty, 330-364-SOLD, or find us online at McInturfRealty.net.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov
or go to empowertusk.com.
Right here on Z Country 99.9. Big thanks to the Caleb Fell Real Estate Team and Sammy Sue's Barbecue here in Dover. A mainstay for a sponsorship for Big Z Sports is Sammy Sue's, and I'm Joe Geckler along with Nick McWilliams. We're joined by the owner, co-owner, however you want to put it. Chris Anderson and his wife Sammy own the gig here at Sammy Sue's. And Chris, thanks so much, man, for joining us and to talk about Sammy Sue's, man. Our favorite place. We love this place so much. We have a sandwich named after us.
Oh, yes, you do, the Outsiders. And I always appreciate you guys coming this time because, you know, it always means that football's on its way.
Oh, yeah.
And it always means Rib Fest is on its way.
That's
'Cause
right.
September Rib Fest. It's huge.
I'm going to hit it up this year. I've missed it the last couple of years. I'm going to hit it up this year.
Yeah, definitely come. We're going to give prizes away every time you
Would
order.
I be eligible or no?
Yeah, you'll be eligible.
All right.
Yeah, we don't do all
right,
that,
all
you know.
Making sure.
No, yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, every time you order a rack of ribs or a half rack of ribs, you'll get a ticket, and then we have prizes at the end of every week. So we're going to give something away every single week.
Awesome. Before we get going anymore, I'm going to ask you how's Sam doing? How's she feeling?
She's doing great. She's getting better. She's 2 years cancer free.
Awesome.
So that's huge. She's fighting it. It's an everyday battle.
Yeah.
But in the end, she grew from it.
Sure.
We learned a lot of things, what to do, what not to do. But yeah, she's doing great.
She's big timed us the last couple of years, and she doesn't come on our shows anymore. It's always you.
Yeah, it's me, and she's so busy. She's Dover Cheer,
absolutely.
and business,
In the
and
community.
Yeah,
That's a great
everything.
thing.
She's always out in the community. That's one thing she does. Support the community and be out there and have your face out there.
For sure.
All right, Chris, so football season is almost back. Obviously, us being here kind of celebrates the start of that.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
for anybody who's looking to score a great meal before they head off to the game on Friday nights, maybe what are some of the specials you guys got going on?
Every Friday, so no matter throughout the season, we have our fish special. It's our homemade beer battered fish. You get 2 sides. So definitely everything we make is in-house, made from scratch. We do everything in-house. Our fish doesn't come in frozen battered. We batter it in our own batter. So yeah. Thursdays is wing nights. Wednesdays is Alfredo, and then on Tuesday we have wings and our quarter-pound burgers and pork burgers. Our pork burgers are unbelievable. It's like being at the fair every year, all day, all year round.
So you're telling me I have to stop here like every day of the week to get lunch and dinner, right?
Yes, definitely, definitely.
And one of my wife's favorite things is the chips with the beer cheese.
Yes.
And she told me, she said, you better bring me some home tonight. And I said, so I'll get an order before we go. And,
Yeah, load 'em up.
The chips and the beer cheese. She goes, bring me extra beer cheese. I don't care if you have to pay for it or whatever. Bring me the beer cheese.
That beer cheese started with my wife was like, we need something for like football on Sundays, and I was like, why don't you just make a beer cheese? So she threw this concoction together. We started it. I'm a fantasy football nut.
Oh, yeah.
All my buddies come over. We watch football, and everybody absolutely loved it. So we were like, you know what? Pretzel sticks, beer cheese, dip it in our chips, everything.
Awesome.
I know we talk. Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry about that. I know we talk every year about the Outsider Sandwich named after obviously
it
Big
is.
Z Sports, but for people who haven't stopped down here yet, I think if you explain what this sandwich is, that's going to be a selling point enough to come on down here. I just finished mine, and I almost want another one, but go ahead.
So you guys made it up. You said we want bread and pork and cheese
Onion
and
rings.
brisket
Oh,
and
yeah.
maybe an onion ring
Yeah.
and maybe some bacon. So what do? Texas toast, pulled pork, cheese, Texas toast, brisket, onion ring,
Unbelievable.
bacon, barbecue sauce.
I actually had my first one in probably a couple of years, and sometimes I come here. I love the brisket tacos.
Oh,
but
yeah.
when she showed me the menu, she's like, you know what? I'm going to get this tonight because
Get
I haven't
you.
had it for a while.
You know how many outsiders I think we sold? I mean, everybody's getting an outsider.
That's great. That's what we like to hear.
But it's so filling. It's so big, and
it is.
if you leave here hungry, that's your own fault.
Absolutely. But one reason we brought you up here, and we mentioned it early on, is you are an original sponsor for Big Z Sports.
Yeah, for sure.
So you've been on one of the longest of any sponsors that we've had here for Big Z Sports, and we've gotten new banners over the last year or so, and we want to present you with one of our original banners.
The original okay.
banners.
Okay.
And this has been hanging up at games, at basketball games,
Yeah.
football games,
That's awesome.
everything. And you guys are going to get this, and you can do with what you want. But if you want to hang it here in the store, that would be awesome.
Hey.
In the restaurant.
There's a big fence. Maybe we'll hang it up
Absolutely. So, but we appreciate all you do for us, and we wanted to give you something. It's not in the greatest of shape. It's been through a lot. Been through a lot of
battle
games.
scars,
on
man.
there. Hey, that's perfect for Sammy Sis.
Yeah, there you go.
know what I mean? Everything's battle scars around here.
So, but we appreciate you guys and
I
what you do
appreciate
for
you
us.
guys.
And one of these days we're going to get a fantasy show going. And I don't know how we're going to do it, but I don't know nothing about it. So.
Hey, Call me.
There you go.
Hey, I could sit and talk fantasy for hours.
You and my son would get along great.
Hey, we'll have call-ins.
There you go.
Start-em, sit-ems. We can do anything.
Adam, you hear that? We got a new segment
I know
coming
a great
up now.
sponsor. I think Sammy Sue's could sponsor that, right?
Oh,
Sponsor
yeah,
the
we'll
show?
sponsor it for
Oh,
sure.
okay. All right. That's Chris Anderson here from Sammy Sue's, owner, co-owner with his wife, Sammy. And, of course, great food here at Sammy Sue's. Make sure you stop on out and see him here. Grab some delicious food any day of the week, lunch and dinner. Big thanks to Chris for having us each and every year here for our preview show. We're going to take a break, have another coach after this. You listen to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
This is Carly Mills. At First Federal Community Bank, our mission is to empower the financial well-being of our community one person at a time. Through integrity and quality, we earn the trust of our customers and exceed their expectations. First Federal Community Bank, investing in our community since 1898. Serving your banking needs in Dover, New Philadelphia, Yorksville, Sugar Creek, Berlin, and Mount Hope. First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC.
Novelis, the world's largest aluminum recycler in Yorksville, is having a job fair this Wednesday and Thursday from 2 to 8 p.m. Novelis is looking for general laborers, equipment operators, and skilled trade positions that start at $22 an hour with industry-leading benefits. Bring your resume for an immediate interview. Stop by the Town Place Suites by Marriott at 1298 West High Avenue in New Philadelphia this Wednesday and Thursday from 2 to 8 p.m. for the Novelis Job Fair.
Fell can sell. When you choose the Caleb Fell Real Estate Team, you can count on local expertise, terrific communication, an expert negotiator on your side, and detail-oriented service throughout the process. Real estate does not have to be difficult or stressful. Choose a team that will make the process quick, easy, and professional start to finish. Whether you are ready to buy or ready to sell, make sure you call Caleb Fell with the Caleb Fell Real Estate Team.
Hi, I'm Zach Motice with the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. For all your auto, home, farm, and business insurance needs, contact our team at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency or stop in and see us at one of our 3 locations in Sugar Creek, Strasburg, and downtown New Philadelphia, providing excellent service to the Tuscarawas Valley since 1885. Everyone here at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency would like to wish all area athletes and teams good luck.
This is RJ Jacobs from DAC Vitamins and Minerals. Did you know that DAC Vitamins and Minerals has more than 40 proven equine supplements that include daily multivitamins, joint, digestion, reproduction and fertility, calming, and many other specialty products? DAC also carries a complete line of livestock products called DAC Show Contender. Feed DAC Vitamins and Minerals to get the competitive edge in the show pen. We've been feeding champions since 1983.
TMK Valley Propane is embracing remote tank monitors. Are you tired of going outside to check your propane tank or forget to order your propane on time? TMK Valley Propane now provides reliable remote tank monitoring technology. Let TMK Valley Propane take the worry away, provide timely delivery, and never run out of propane again. Thank you for your trust in TMK Valley Propane.
All the way with TMK, service with a personal touch.
This is Jordan Hartzler. At Hartzler's Quality Housing, our goal is to help customers achieve the dream of home ownership. We have been a family-owned, affordable housing business for over 40 years. We value our customers and have the knowledge and experience to help you walk through the home buying process from start to finish.
Conveniently located just off I-77 in New Philadelphia, stop by and browse their model homes or learn more by visiting Hartzlers.com. Wood Electric has been trusted with all of your electrical needs for over 30 years. They are the place to call for residential, commercial, and industrial work. Wood Electric is available 24 hours a day and ready to help with any electrical problem, outage, or installation. Wood Electric, serving Tuscarawas County and beyond since 1988. Like Wood Electric on Facebook or find them online at woodelectric.net.
Philadelphia.
Welcome back with Big Z Sports live from Sammy Sue's Barbecue in Dover, the 2023 high school football preview show. Big Z Sports and everyone here at Sammy Sue's celebrating the start of another high school football season. Nick McWilliams now joined by Shannon Thomas. And Shannon, you know, I noticed you were over there too enjoying some nice Sammy Sue's. I think everybody has gotten the outsider today. No complaints, no surprise.
That outsider is always my go-to when I come here. I love everything they have here, but that's just, it's good.
Well, everyone tuning in is thinking, all right, enough about the food. We got to talk about football. That's why we're here. We're going to welcome in our next coach, Newcomerstown head football coach Dirk Gadd. Coach, coming off an 8-3 season, so very excited to get Newcomerstown back here with Big Z Sports. You guys last year, I don't think it's possible that I can summarize just how important that season was for your guys' program. So many, I can't say first things to happen in almost 2 decades. IVC title, home playoff game. I know you guys were so excited about all of that.
Yeah, it was definitely a great season. Like you said, we did some things that have never been done in the history of Newcomerstown, hosting a home playoff game. So it was exciting, and, you know, the whole community, they've been great. You know, even when we weren't having much success, they still supported us and rallied around us. And, you know, we really rallied last season. And, you know, that's a credit to the kids and their parents. We have a great group of kids at Newcomerstown, and a really special group as far as athletic talent right now.
Coach, you didn't have a lot of seniors last year, but you had 2, and those 2 you're going to miss a little bit as their leadership role. And Brandon Weber and David Newkirk, they were the leaders on the field. And has anybody really kind of stepped up yet to say, hey, we're going to carry on what these 2 did for us?
Yeah, I mean, every season you have kids that step up. Brandon and David, they did a great job for us. They were in our program for 4 years. You know, high school football is not easy, so anytime you commit to 4 years of high school football, that's a big deal. And, you know, just being seniors, you're bigger, you're stronger, you're experienced, and just by watching some film of us last year, you know, there were some things that I already know I'm going to miss. You know, David, I noticed he did a great job tackling for us last year, and Brandon ran the ball hard for us. Not that we don't have those things this year, but you know, there are some things there that you get out of seniors that, you know, you can't replace sometimes with guys that are younger than that.
Yeah, with that senior class, you know, just kind of one final thing from last season. You guys did lose in the first round to West Jefferson 49-14, but I know you guys obviously would have loved to pick up the playoff victory, but just having that at home and having that playoff berth meant so much. But I think the thing that I was most impressed by with everybody on that Trojan squad last year, it just seemed like everyone was so selfless, and it was always show up and do your job, and that kind of almost led to that success of the 8 wins.
Yeah, you know, our offense is a selfless style of football. You know, it's smash mouth. You know, we're going to come right at you. It's no secret. We're not trying to trick people or fool people, and
unless we're telling them you're running the spread this year.
Right. We won't be running the spread this year. hopefully. But, you know, they have to sacrifice their bodies for each other. It's that smash mouth style football, and I think it builds that selflessness, which, you know, that's one of our core values that we talk about, is being selfless, and we have a group of kids that really embrace that.
Now, I guess I do have one final thing from last season. That 5-0 record you guys posted in the conference, getting the outright IVC title, it just seemed like that almost lit a fire under the entire community of Newcomerstown. I mean, I know that the Trojan fans are always faithful, but it just seemed like everybody was so pumped in the village to be celebrating Newcomerstown football.
Yeah, every time we win an away game, we come home and fire trucks lead us down Main Street, and, you know, it's neat to see each time we won another away game, and as people started to see, you know, we're getting better and better, there was more and more cars, and that after we won the IVC championship at Buckeye Trail on the way home, I don't know that I've ever seen that many cars lined up through Newcomerstown.
Now, looking ahead into your schedule this season, 2 new teams that you guys did not play last year in Berne Union and Barnesville. You guys added 2 playoff teams in your first 5 weeks of your schedule. So it goes back to that old adage, maybe iron sharpens iron. You guys are going to find out very early on what you've got, I think.
Yeah, Berne Union's a good football team. They made the playoffs last year. We actually also added Martins Ferry as well as as well as a pretty good Barnesville football team. Barnesville had been on our schedule in the past. They were a super physical team. They've had some really good football teams, and we always seem to come out of that game beat up. So we went away from them for a while, but they're back on the schedule, and we got to compete and win those types of games if we expect to win in the playoffs.
Well, Coach, coming back to help you do that, you got an electrifying player, Bunk Millender, where you can put him anywhere on the offense, and he's going to get things done. And you're bringing back your play caller, Clayton Fish. That's got to be nice to have those two experienced kids back, but yet still young.
Yeah, and those kids and those two and a lot of the other kids, they do things that I just can't teach. You can only coach so much. They're just naturally gifted, and they take coaching well, and even though they're as talented as they are, they still listen to coaches, and they take coaching, and they just get better and better, and we're happy to have those guys back.
Well, for a running school, you got a quarterback who's got some pretty good stats.
Yeah, and I've told you guys before, when we do throw the ball, we expect it to go for a big play, and Clayton did a great job last season of making sure he made those throws. The last thing you want to do when you barely throw the ball is have a wide open guy and miss him. And we didn't miss him very much. And he didn't I think Clayton threw one interception last year, and that was just because, it was the end towards the half, and it was pretty much a prayer. So he's a pretty good quarterback.
Now, I'd so often it seems like a lot of the conversation surrounds Bunk Millender when it comes to Trojan football, but I think definitely now, especially after that finish you guys had last season, I think teams around the area are starting to realize, this team has a lot of playmakers throughout the offense and defense outside of Bunk as well. Tell me, just having those players back, how important that is.
Yeah, we got our entire offensive line back, and without them, those big runs that Bunk has, they don't happen. We have everybody back up front. Ethan Swagger is a junior.
In the rolling hills of Holmes County, we tend to do things a bit differently. At Kime, we're in the business of uncommon experiences, and we're here to care for your project like we care for our own. We believe that quality matters and want to help you get it right the first time, because your project deserves it. So visit Kime Home Center, your source and destination for all things home, building, and woodworking. Kime, built on trust since 1911.
This is Carly Mills. At First Federal Community Bank, our mission is to empower the financial well-being of our community one person at a time. Through integrity and quality, we earn the trust of our customers and exceed their expectations. First Federal Community Bank, investing in our community since 1898. Serving your banking needs in Dover, New Philadelphia, Yorksville, Sugar Creek, Berlin, and Mount Hope. First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC.
Is your vehicle banged up? Do you want fast, professional service to get you back on the road? This is Garrett Jacobs with AutoWorks Collision Center. We service cars, trucks, SUVs, and even semi-trucks and RVs. Whether you need auto glass replacement, paintless dent repair, assistance with warranty and insurance, or just a free estimate, AutoWorks has you covered. We even offer alignments for your heavy-duty vehicles like buses, motorhomes, and semis with our state-of-the-art Hunter alignment system. Call 330-878-4223. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Let AutoWorks of Strasburg work for you.
The certified public accountants at Niedenthal & Company believe in the value of relationships. Niedenthal & Company has been in business for over 50 years in your community, helping individuals and businesses grow. Niedenthal & Company can help manage and prepare your payroll, plan your estate, and prepare your business and personal income taxes. Stop into the Niedenthal facility on North Worcester Avenue in Dover and become a valued client today.
Dr. Nathan Springer is in the business of making smiles, specializing in braces and Invisalign for children and adults. Dr. Springer provides smiles that can be recognized anywhere. Just look at the winning smile on some of the players. Compliments of Dr. Nathan Springer Orthodontics. Hey, that smile of pride on the face of mom and dad might be from Dr. Springer too. Dr. Nathan Springer Orthodontics, in the business of making smiles, at 107 Ray Avenue Northeast in New Philadelphia.
Planning your next vacation or home improvement project and worried about managing expenses? CSB can help with that. Setting a goal is the first step to achieving your vision, and CSB's Money Manager tool helps you get started. Whether you are recovering from Christmas spending or preparing to send kids to college, the Personal Financial Management tool helps you set goals, track your spending, and monitor your progress. Money Manager is available within CSB's online banking. Check it out today. The Commercial and Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Apologies there as we had a little technical difficulty. Cutting off Coach Gadd talking about something I know he loves, which is his offensive line. So, Coach, let's run through that again. For the Cumberstown Trojans, all your starters back up front.
Yeah, we have all the starters back. Our center's back, Ethan Swaggart. He has done a great job for us. I don't think we had a single bobbled or fumbled snap last season, so that says a lot about him. Landon Castile, Brian Alonzo, they're back. Logan Metz is back up front. We also have a newcomer, Martin Hernandez, to our offensive line, who's really going to help us. He's a freshman. He's back up front. So we're looking for a lot of good things out of those guys. They're experienced, and I'm a little partial to them because that's actually the position that I've been coaching the last couple years. So I'm really excited about our offensive line.
Yeah, Coach, and what makes their job harder is everybody knows when Newcomerstown comes to town, you're running the football. So everybody knows hit the offensive line and hit them hard, and your guys still find a way to make holes for those guys to get those big gains.
Yeah, and what it comes down to is attention to detail, and strength plays into it too. There's a lot of stuff that plays into it, but I've just really been, after coaching running backs and defensive backs, and that's fun, and I played that position in college myself. I get it. Those guys, they kind of have the it's just a different type of mentality you have in those positions. Offensive linemen are so humble and coachable and a little more laid back, and they've really taken coaching well, and they've gotten better and better for us each game.
As they say, linemen just bring their lunch pail to practice and go to work.
They just go to work.
Hard head, absolutely. Yes. Finally, one last thing for you, Coach. I know you're a little bit into the off-season period now, off-season two-a-day period. We talked with you not too long ago, but I just want to double back to this subject. What has been the biggest area that you've seen, maybe the biggest improvement from your team so far in this offseason?
If I had to judge from our first scrimmage, I'd say, our offense is better, I think, than we were last year. I think that our offensive line is better, and I think our backs have a better understanding of where the holes are going to be. So I think offensively, we're going to be better this year.
You just made a whole lot of people in the IVC go, oh, man, no, not again. Well, for Newcomerstown, head coach Dirk Gadd for our 2023 high school football preview show. Coach, always great having you on. We look forward to covering some Trojan football this year.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
That will do it for another segment here live from Sammy Sue's Barbecue. Stick around. Big Z Sports and Claxon Communications are back after this.
Is there anything better than high school sports? Hi, this is Pat Ferris of Ferris Chevrolet Buick and Toyota. High school sports bring out the best in our schools and in our communities, and the people at Ferris have always believed in the importance of athletics and academics. Just like we believe in the great cars and trucks we sell and service every day, like high school sports, we're a great tradition in this area. Ferris, on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
Big Brothers Big Sisters needs your help. Hi, this is Monique Duke, and we are committed to matching 82 children that have been waiting to meet their big. Do you have 4 hours a month that you could share with a little doing something you both enjoy? We match bigs and littles with similar interests, so this could be fishing, going to a ball game, going to church, or even shopping. If you would be interested in changing a child's life, please contact us at 330-339-6916 or visit us at bigsforkids.com/volunteer.
Cush Financial Group has been proudly serving the financial needs of local community members for over 35 years. The team at Cush Financial follows an industry-leading service model with the unique approach and fiduciary responsibilities associated with their board-certified financial planner. With over 75 years of combined experience, the advisors at Cush Financial Group are here to help you achieve your financial goals. Contact the office at 330-308-8700 or visit cushfinancial.com to schedule your free consultation today. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Independent Capital Company Incorporated, member FINRA, SIPC. Top Notch Auto on East Plum Alley in Janaden, your one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, offering an experienced staff that can handle just what you need to keep your vehicle running at its best. Top Notch Auto specializes in diagnostics with state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment. Whether your vehicle needs routine maintenance or major repairs, Top Notch Auto can handle all your vehicle needs. They also offer a large selection of tire brands, including Goodyear, Kelly, and Cooper, just to name a few. Find Top Notch Auto LLC on Facebook or call them at 740-561-4100.
The Tuscarawas County dairy farmers want you to know that low-fat chocolate milk is a great choice for student athletes and hard workers. It provides the nutrition needed after practices, games, or a hard day at work, and it tastes great. Low-fat chocolate milk is packed with carbohydrates for energy, proteins to repair muscles, fluids to rehydrate, plus vitamins and minerals to help build strong bones and bodies. It's the official beverage of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Tuscarawas County Dairy Farmers. Farms, family, food.
Sammy Sue's Barbecue here in Dover for the Caleb Fell Real Estate Team 2023 football preview show. And Shannon, couldn't ask for a better night weather-wise.
Oh, it's beautiful outside right now. Got a nice little breeze on, and this patio is full of people here enjoying this Sammy Sue's Barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, what great stuff it is to enjoy. And now we get to enjoy talking about some New Philadelphia Quaker football as we're joined by head coach Mike Johnson. Coach, thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
So far, I know we're about, week and a half into things. How's the Quakers looking so far?
So far, things we're building. I mean, that's the big thing. We lost a lot of great players last year. So this year, it's find new guys to step up and coach them up and get them ready to go. And we had a scrimmage last week, and our kids came out and performed well. So we're building upon that and looking forward to getting out again on Friday night against Green and see where we've made those strides.
Coach, a quick recap on last year. You finished 6-5. You know, sometimes you expect a little bit more, but at the end of the year, you came away with that big overtime win against the rival across the river, and you drew a tough team in the first round of the playoffs in Canfield, number 2 team, and you guys was in that game for a long time before eventually falling to Canfield. You know, just touch back on your seniors for that season.
We had a lot of really good kids and that did a lot of really good things. Different guys. Some of them are often just took off for college to play some college football, but they did a great job of making sure that we were in every game. We had a chance. We were fighting every game, and our attitude was the right attitude, and it was great to have them lead the way against Dover, and then in the playoffs they made some gutty plays. A lot of those guys made gutty plays, and that's what keeps you in games.
Coach, you talked about the I'm going to jump back into this season, the early on here, that you fill in some holes, obviously, from the graduating class. Every team has to deal with that. Do you feel that, New Philadelphia in that program status, I guess you could say, where these kids, this is their opportunity now. Yes, you have to fill voids, but there's so many kids that are trying to get to those Friday night lights to play those ample minutes, and seeing the success that the Quakers have had over the years, the program kind of helps with that, being able to fill those spots, does it not?
Without a doubt. We're looking at guys who are getting playing time right now, and I expect they're going to keep fighting and winning and getting more playing time. Who were JV football players last year, and these guys are seniors now, so it's their chance to step up. And they didn't have the opportunity last year because with last year's seniors, they made those same strides. They were the ones that stepped up. So it's going to be nice to see, because of the program, like you said, this is the next step in the rite of passage for these seniors. And then we also have some juniors and sophomores who are trying to fight to crack that lineup as well. So we're really excited about how they've competed during camp. We're excited about the way that they play, the way they practice, and it's going to be, it's just you evaluate it every day. You watch a little film every day. We're going to like I said, on Friday you get another test, and that will give us a better feel for who's going to lead the way week 1.
Coach, you're bringing back your quarterback. He was a sophomore last year, stepped into a situation with Tetzloff got hurt. So how do you feel that he's progressed from last year to this year, only being a week and a half into the season?
Keaton's gotten so much better, and I think it's part of it's you get the off season, you get you've been there, you've done it. I mean, I think that's an invaluable experience. That's probably more important than the off season. But you get the off season, you get the preseason where you're out throwing with your teammates, timing things up, and when you're the third string quarterback, that doesn't happen. And he was sitting at the third string in mid-July last year. So now he ended up being our guy. So we're really excited to have Keaton back, because what he's able to do throwing the ball, what he's able to do running the ball, and being a guy who's been on the field and has led your team through some hard-fought victories, you get a little bit more faith in putting him out there to do it again. So I'm sure our guys will rally around him coming up here in about 2 weeks against Louisville.
Yeah, and like you said, Coach, I mean, just for his sake, to be able to know going into this year what his role, most likely 100% he knows what his role is going to be, where last year, yeah, he was in the quarterback room, but he didn't, you know what I'm saying? That makes a big difference, and it can really help get him ready for this season.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And like you said, last year he was in the room. This year he knows it. And that's one of the things that's great about Keaton is he was at everything. Even for a guy who plays baseball, he was able to lift during the baseball season on days when they didn't have games. He was able to find a way to do more. He went to leadership meetings. Yesterday was down helping kids learn how to tackle at youth football. So he's at anything and everything. If we say, hey, we got something going on, he's a leader, and he's going to be there, and he's going to bring people with him.
Another one of those players you're bringing back that people don't talk about until they need them is your kicker, Nathaniel Demuth. It's got to be nice to have kickers like that on your sideline.
Well, it is, but Nathaniel's on his way down to Marietta, unfortunately. So
that's a sheet correction.
I just got your hopes up.
I know. I just perked up a little bit when you started talking about Nathaniel Demuth. I was like, man, that kid he did everything. He could paint, he could sing, he could kick, and he was smart. So we love Nathaniel Demuth, but kicking game's going to look a little different.
Well, let's jump. Well, how about this? How about we jump into the schedule now? You mentioned Louisville. Then week 2, you go to Steubenville. It's at Steubenville, correct?
Yes, we're down to Steubenville.
I mean, those are right out of the chute. Those are two tall orders right at hand, and that's before you even think about the OCC play. Just talk about the first couple games of your schedule.
It's tough. We jump right into it. When you look at week 1, Louisville, and it's going to be exciting to see what Louisville does. They got a new coach. He's had success at the college level, and they expect big things out of him from Louisville, and they should. So it'll be a good test for us week 1 to kind of see where that program is and how we compare to it. But then when you look at week 2, you hop on the bus, Big Yellow, and you head down to Death Valley. Is quite the way to start your preseason schedule out. Your non-conference schedule out.
Yeah.
But we've played these guys before. I guess you've played Steubenville. You got an idea what to expect, and we've had games where we've been tight with them, and now that's what we want out of this team is a little bit of growth to make the leap.
Just going to Steubenville and playing at Death Valley is an experience in itself. A mental thing.
Oh, it is. And I remember my first time going down there as a position coach, and little kids were yelling at us on the sideline. But our kids fought that night. 2 years later, we went back down there and turned the ball over 4 times in the first half and came back with the win. So it is its own little atmosphere, and it's a pretty awesome place to play football. And it's a great experience for our kids to get in a hostile environment before we get into these league games.
Well, the last question I have for you, Coach, and it's probably the most important one. Who won the lineman diving competition today? and my second part to that question is, how did the judge or the people that judged that event do? Because I heard you had some step-in judges for the event.
The judges, I actually talked to these judges a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, are you guys willing to do this? And they did. And we had great judges. 2 of them were pretty good, and one was phenomenal. One's our new high school principal, Ryan Range. He did a good job. Our new high school assistant principal, Josh Jarvis, he did a good job. And then my daughter, Mallory Johnson, did a phenomenal job.
So
she might be the best judge we've ever had.
That was a tough panel then.
It is a tough panel. They're all looking for different things. No, we at the end of camp are able to have a dive competition. It's a lot of fun. We do some conditioning there in the pool throughout the last 2 weeks, and now it was time for play today at the end of our conditioning. And with our dive competition, we had a couple categories. You got big splash, you got the flop category, you have the graceful category. It's just got to look pretty, and then you have the synchronized, and it was a lot of fun. Our kids got out and they have fun with it. It's one of the more fun things that you get to do at the end of a long week of work, a long 2 weeks of work.
Grueling 2-a-day schedule for sure.
Well, maybe next year Big Z sports team can show up and enter the big flop contest.
you guys be more than welcome. I know our guy who does all our filming, Greg Perkins, was there, and he was able to put together some shots, and I can't wait to see the video. I'm just gonna we'll watch it and we'll just laugh. We'll probably put it on for the kids, and they'll have a great time with it. But it's fun to be able to do different things with your guys, because all these coaches, we all ask a lot out of our kids, a lot out of our families who step up and help out. So it's always so nice when you're able to kind of relax and do something that has nothing to do with football, because we're all humans.
Exactly. It gets their mind off of it for at least a little while.
Yeah, and you need that time. You need a little release. You need a little relax. And our kids had a great time with it, and it's one of my favorite things to do, and I'm glad we got the opportunity. Maybe next year, we'll put the headsets on and we coming to you live from Tuscarora Park. I don't know.
Sounds like a good time.
Clear that with Rod Miller.
Yeah, well, Coach, we appreciate you coming and talking about some Quaker football here in the preview show, and looking for good things again this year.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having us. Go Quakers.
All right, that's Coach Mike Johnson with the New Philadelphia Quakers. After a short break, we'll be back talking to another coach here live from Sammy Sue's Barbecue right after this.
Based on a foundation of trust and integrity, Jeff Wallach LLC is a family-owned and operated company proudly serving the greater Northeast Ohio and surrounding communities with experience in residential and commercial projects. The pursuit of quality workmanship and commitment to superior customer service has positioned Jeff Wallach LLC as a respected installer of seamless siding, spouting, and replacement windows and doors for more than 25 years. Turn your vision into a reality by visiting jeffwallachllc.com.
PAC Drilling, a family-owned and operated company since 2005 in Bolivar, takes pride in being an economic oil and gas drilling company. PAC's objective is to contribute to American energy independence through profitable development, operation, and marketing of oil and natural gas wells. PAC also employs operating technicians to oversee each and every well drilled to maximize its productivity and longevity. Contact PAC Drilling at pacdrilling.com.
Hi, this is Jan McInturf. The past 30 years, the residents in and around the Tuscarawas County have made the call to the realtors and staff of McInturf Realty for buying and selling of residential and commercial properties. We truly live in a great community, and in all of those communities, there is nothing better than high school sports. For myself and all the agents and staff at McInturf Realty, we would like to wish all the area athletes good luck this season. And make the call to McInturf Realty, 330-364-SOLD, or find us online at McInturfRealty.net.
Welcome back to the Sammy Sue's Barbecue Big Z Sports Preview Show. Big thanks to the Caleb Fell Real Estate Team for sponsoring our show here tonight at Sammy Sue's. Great food, of course. You can stop in lunchtime and dinner to check out Sammy Sue's Barbecue. Make sure you jump on the Outsider, Sammy. I think they've sold maybe 10 or 15 tonight just because of we're here, but they're really good. I think Coach can.
Yeah, that's what I had. It was pretty good.
To tell you how bad it is, when I walked in there inside the building, they said, "Hey, how much brisket do we have left?" I don't know if we're going to have enough the rest of the night, and that's our fault.
Love to hear it. But as you can see on camera, not on the radio so much, but we are joined by West Holmes head coach Zach Gardner, entering his 7th season out at West Holmes, 47-22, 4 playoff appearances, and of course the loss in the regional semis last year to Van Wert, 40-35. But Coach, we don't dwell on the past so much. We will ask you to talk about your seniors one final time from last year's group, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you look at that group of kids, what a great group of young men. A lot of them, started their collegiate careers this week. Going out and representing our program and representing our community at the collegiate level. So just a group of kids that were tough, loved football. They were very, very tight, and just a lot of memories from those young men that will last a long time for us.
The kid that I think that I'll miss the most, Elijah Baldridge.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
He was our defensive player of the year last year for Big Z Sports, and what a great kid. Unbelievable on the field, and 286 tackles. That's crazy to think about. But what'd you guys play? You played 13 games, so you guys do the math. 13 divided by 286, that's a lot of tackles per game. And in some of those games, Coach, he probably wasn't on the field in the second half.
Yeah, no, he was definitely a kid who bought into the weight room.
He did.
Which was huge for us, and his lasting legacy is the commitment that he did to the weight room, and just paving a pathway for kids to see that if you get out of what you put into it, and building themselves in the weight room.
Well, I didn't believe he was a linebacker the first time I saw him. I thought it was a D end, but no, that's a linebacker out there in West Holmes. Coach, 7-0 in the OCC, the 12-1 record. Obviously, you guys accomplished so much last season. How has the kind of the attitude of the players been going into a new year with just continued success of the West Holmes football program?
Yeah, our kids know what we expect, and our kids have a demeanor of what they want to accomplish. They know how to do it. They know how to practice. They know how to lift. And we're kind of going into this season really doubling down on our culture, our selflessness, our effort, our toughness especially. That's definitely been something that we've been just harping on the kids about and preparing them to go where we want to go. Those are the things that we need to do. We're also playing with kind of a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. We're kind of leaning into the narrative out there that that we're not going to be able to win the league again and make a deep playoff push and stuff like that. And I think that's something that our kids take very personally. You can see the signs of it, like not being covered by a two-a-day by the WTUZ sports crew like that. So that's definitely something that we lean into, and I think our kids are going to play with a chip on their shoulder, and we're looking forward to go out there and prove some doubters wrong.
It's crazy though. You are sitting here on tonight's biggest night of the year, right?
Yep.
But if you look at some of your key returners, and the guy that really stands out to me, and the Yale commit, Kyle Maltridge. A great wide receiver last year, almost 1,400 yards receiving, 21 touchdowns. Did it on defense as well, 7 picks. Kind of Mr. Do-It-Everything for you guys out there.
Look,
Unbelievable
Mr.
talent.
Do-It-Everything, you talk about the statistics he has and the ability he has to be able to go play, in the Ivy League at Yale. That speaks for itself. But what doesn't speak for itself is the young man that he is off the field. Throughout this whole recruiting process, he's done everything the absolute right way that it is to be done. And that's something, that speaks for his character and who he is as a young man. And, he's going to, like you said, do it all for us. He's going to punt for us. He's going to return punts, return kicks, plays offense for us, defense. It's exceptional when you have a young man like that's going to go, change his life and go have, that type of education for him.
Trying to get more Big Z Sports hardware out there, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We're laying his play will speak for itself. So we're just excited to get it going.
Well, we like to hand out nicknames to some of the players. I think we're going to have to call him the Scholar maybe throughout the entire season. I think that might be fitting.
His academic prowess, I think that's a direct reflection of his head coach. I would think that he's able to go to the – no, man, that kid works his tail off, and, Yale was all over him, and it was a cool thing.
Who else came after him? Are you allowed to say?
That's his personal thing right there. But let's just say, when the conversation came down to it, it was like, do you want to graduate from this place or do you want to graduate from Yale? Harvard was after him.
Okay.
All the Ivy Leagues basically were all over him.
That's awesome.
And Coach, something I found very interesting. This is normally we have to talk with coaches about, hey, this team's different. You lost this team, you added this one. Same slate for you guys for the same 10 games, so that has to be a little bit of a comfort level maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you have familiarity with an opponent, that's going to allow you to game plan and to prepare the way that you have in the past, and so that familiarity breeds success. So we're excited to go against a quality schedule.
I am going to ask you kind of a funny question. You can get in a dig if you want because it's week 1. Are they going to have 2 goalposts this year?
Well, we're hoping so. You know what I mean?
That was such a weird game.
Listen, and it's not the fact that they had something happen. It was more of the way they kind of handled it.
Sure.
That kind of rubbed us the wrong way at West Holmes, and we're obviously week 1's coming around the corner, and we're excited to play that game. There's for various reasons.
Now the score last year was 41-7. I'm gonna be funny here for a second. Were you guys winded walking down the other end to get that extra point and you missed it, or was it 2 field goals?
It was definitely a strange situation, and I don't know if I should elaborate on it
They're not listening
as much as I would like to right now in a public forum. But no, definitely a strange situation.
Last year's kicker, Nick Ginsburg's probably thinking, guys, don't repeat that. Don't make me remember that I missed that extra point. Coach, we know that a lot of the bread and butter success that you have had with the Knights, or that your team has had, is come through the aerial attack. We know that's something that's kind of a staple of offenses that you have had. Going to be a new quarterback coming in this year, so how have things been in the passing game in the offseason?
Yeah, Morgan Smith stepping in as a junior as our quarterback, and he's an exceptional athlete. He's a wrestler, so he's tough. He's strong. He's tough. He's gonna be gritty. But he led our junior varsity team to a 10-0 or 9-0 season last year. He played 9 JV games, so we won 9 JV games, and he really led it. And his toughness and his grit and his ability too. He's been developed, just like all our other guys, ready to step in, and now it's his turn. And what we've seen from him so far, he played very well in our first scrimmage against Tri-Valley, throwing the football. They were dropping 8, and he was putting it in some pretty tight windows. So we're excited about him. We're also excited about his running ability with his legs. I think it's a dynamic that we haven't had to the extent where he can run the football and do some things like that for us. So we're very excited about Morgan. Like I said, he's been developed, and hopefully he's the next in line of great West Holmes quarterbacks that we've had the past 7 years.
I was going to say the past 4, 5, 6 years you've had Bridger Klein, you've had Noah Clark, and Mason Wolf. And it's like, Mason was our offensive player of the year last year. Noah Clark won our player of the year, and Bridger Klein was a finalist. So your past 3 quarterbacks have performed for you. What is it about your system that your quarterbacks thrive in?
You got to throw Peyton McKinney's name in there too.
That's right.
He was good for us. So we're looking at this as the fifth in line. I think it's just the way that we develop kids, you know what I mean? There's a development process that goes into it. You identify them young, and you get them reading defenses, and then going through the process that it takes to do it. And our kids take great pride, and I think we're very proud that that's something we're known for is our quarterback play, and the statistics you put up, but also the leadership abilities that you have, and you go out and you have a lot of success if you play quarterback at West Holmes.
And I know you do not like to always necessarily single out one guy, but, kind of the leader on your defense, and Elijah Baldridge now graduating, who has stepped up maybe defensively in the off-season period to kind of be that leadership voice? Yeah,
well, we got Jack Marmot back on defense. A big, tall, strong kid. He's gonna kind of be the leader. But we also have Elijah Williams-Dixon coming back. So we're very happy about our 2 defensive ends that we have. We think that they're going to be
off the end.
Yes, we feel that we've actually switched our scheme. We're real big on putting our kids in positions like with Elijah Baldridge. You put him at Mike linebacker and you keep him unblocked and you let him go have 286 tackles. So what we have is 2 D ends, athletic, strong, tough D ends, and we think we're going to be able to pin our ears back and put a lot of pressure on people. And we're going to be very deep on our defensive line, probably deeper than I've ever been. So we've switched to a 4-2 defense from a 3-3 front, and we think we're going to be able to keep kids fresh and just play really good defense up front, which ultimately where every game is won, the line of scrimmage.
Coach, as you look back on last year, just a question here. A lot of expectations going into that season. We talked off the air. We talked a lot of times like, man, we're hoping to get to Canton by the end of the season. You fall short. You get beat by Van Wert. There's a bad taste in your mouth a little bit from that. How do you bring that back into this season? You lost some of those kids from that team, but a lot of that core is back that took that loss to Van Wert last year. Those kids were expecting to go on to play Glenville and maybe even farther than that. How do you bring that bad taste in their mouth back to this season?
Yeah, it comes down, like I said, we're doubling down on our culture. There were some times I felt where we could have stepped up and made some plays, especially in that Van Wert game where we didn't. The toughness that goes into it and the selflessness of knowing what you're supposed to be doing and doing it. So, that Van Wert game played on repeat in our weight room throughout the off season. Our kids, and you could just feel the negative feelings they had from watching that. So like I said, we're fueling that, and that's fueling us this year is that and the lack of believing in us as a program is something that we're doubling down on. It's fueling us. Our slogan this year is earn it, and what that means is earn the opportunity to show everyone what West Holmes football is really about. You go through the process of weightlifting and practice and everything that you need to do to get to that moment where, all of our it's like the
it's like the track.
It's like Indianapolis 500 here right now. But no, you do the things you need to do to earn that opportunity to show to everyone who's doubting us and doesn't think that we can accomplish, our goals. Earn that opportunity to show them.
Well, and something else, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think last year you guys were a little peeved at being the 2nd seed in Region 14 too. I think could you use that as motivation too, try to get that number 1 seed?
Yeah, absolutely. There's things that we can do to show that we can take that next step, do what we've done. We're excited. If we can win week 1, we're going to tie the West Holmes record for consecutive regular season victories.
Awesome.
Which would be big for us to get that, to tie that, and then hopefully the next week take care of business and get that record. I think that means a lot to us. We haven't lost at home since 2019, we've got 3 straight years at least to the Sweet 16 in the playoffs. So we're really, building a culture of success and building a tradition. And, this is a big year for us to really put our stamp of approval on it, to put the exclamation point on it that it's here and it's here to stay. Proud of where our program's at right now. Talking with our youth football coaches, we have about 90 kids in our 4th through 6th grade. And we have 120 kids playing flag football at a young age. So we're building a brand new $2 million field house with a weight room and an indoor place to do running drills and turfed room, and our facilities are going to be top notch, and with our weightlifting class we got going on, we just have the infrastructure to really continue this for a long time. But this is a big year for us to really put our stamp of approval on it and show that West Holmes football is as good as it's ever been.
You're one of a few schools still with grass. Is that staying, or are you going to turf?
Absolutely. I'll tell you straight up, that is a home field advantage. You'll see these teams that play nothing on turf come on our field and they
struggle.
and it's a mental thing too when they come on there and they're all worried about it. And for us, it is nothing for us to practice on grass all week and then go play on turf. In fact, I think it makes us feel faster. It gives us a little bit of an edge about being faster. No, we are committed to it. If you come out to us, we put a lot of money into it, and it looks like turf. Our grass looks like turf, and there's so many people. West Holmes is a great place to be right now with all the things that are going on and the pride pride that is in the community about sports, and making sure that our field looks good, and adding this $2 million field house that we're gonna have. So we got a lot of really, really good things going on right now, and it's a good time to be in Knight, and very, very proud to be from West Holmes.
Obviously, the preseason winding down. The regular season starts next week. You have one scrimmage left. Who you got this week, and what are you looking forward to finding out about your team this week?
Yeah, we're going against Dover tomorrow night at Crater Stadium.
Awesome.
So that's going to be a great test of where we're at. We had for a coach, which is like the kind of scrimmage you want from scrimmage one. We did very well. We had a lot of really good things, but we also made some mistakes of things that are fixable. That you watch film, work on it, get better from it. So tomorrow's going to be a real big litmus test for us for going against a quality program like Dover. We 7-on-7'd with them earlier in the summer, and they're very, very fast, and the speed of the game that they're going to bring is something that that if we can match that speed and get used to playing that type of speed, and the size that they have up front, if we can use our weight room and stay low and compete on the line of scrimmage with them, it is something that's going to serve us well as we enter our 10-game regular season schedule.
Awesome. Well, Coach, all the best tomorrow night. Your scrimmage, of course, as the season gets going next week as well. Thanks so much for making the trip in here to Sammy Sue's to talk with us about Knights football, and we appreciate everything you do for us, and keep producing them quarterbacks, man.
No, we'll work on it. We appreciate everything you guys do. I was telling some people, talking to them earlier, what you guys do is the equivalent of what the newspaper used to be back in the 90s and 2000s. I remember being a player, waking up, you get the newspaper, you see the coaching comments, you see the statistics, you see what happens in every game, and that's you guys doing that Friday night instantly. And what you do is a huge service to the community and everything. Keep doing what you guys do. You guys do a great job, and it's excited to be back for another football season.
Appreciate it. That's Coach Zach Gardner from the West Holmes Knights joining us here on our preview show live from Sammy Sue's, and also big thanks to the Caleb Fell real estate team. Take a break, come back with another coach. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov
or go to empowertusk.com.
The First National Bank of Denison appreciates the hard work and dedication area athletes exhibit to be the best they can be for their team. We follow that same philosophy with our customers, working hard to build personal relationships and making our services convenient. The First National Bank of Denison's community involvement is important to us, and we love supporting our local schools. The First National Bank of Denison, with offices in Denison, Dover, Jeanette Hutton, South Broadway, and Schönbrunn in New Philadelphia. We have our roots where others have their branches. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Novelis, the world's largest aluminum recycler in Yorksville, is having a job fair this Wednesday and Thursday from 2 to 8 p.m. Novelis is looking for general laborers, equipment operators, and skilled trade positions that start at $22 an hour with industry-leading benefits. Bring your resume for an immediate interview. Stop by the Town Place Suites by Marriott at 1298 West High Avenue in New Philadelphia this Wednesday and Thursday from 2 to 8 p.m. for the Novelis Job Fair.
Fell can sell. When you choose the Caleb Fell Real Estate Team, you can count on local expertise, terrific communication, an expert negotiator on your side, and detail-oriented service throughout the process. Real estate does not have to be difficult or stressful. Choose a team that will make the process quick, easy, and professional start to finish. Whether you are ready to buy or ready to sell, make sure you call Caleb Fell with the Caleb Fell Real Estate Team.
Hi, I'm Zach Motice with the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. For all your auto, home, farm, and business insurance needs, contact our team at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency or stop in and see us at one of our 3 locations in Sugar Creek, Strasburg, and downtown New Philadelphia, providing excellent service to the Tuscarawas Valley since 1885. Everyone here at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency would like to wish all area athletes and teams good luck.
This is RJ Jacobs from DAC Vitamins and Minerals. Did you know that DAC Vitamins and Minerals has more than 40 proven equine supplements that include daily multivitamins, joint, digestion, reproduction and fertility, calming, and many other specialty products? DAC also carries a complete line of livestock products called DAC Show Contender. Feed DAC Vitamins and Minerals to get the competitive edge in the show pen. We've been feeding champions since 1983.
Football preview show with Big Z Sports, Claxon Communications, and of course brought to you by the Caleb Fell Real Estate Team. Going to move on to our next coach for the Malvern Hornets, Matt Chirico. Coach, so happy to have you back. Your 6th year. You guys have had some great success. Last season, getting to the playoffs, 8-3 record. I mean, really just a solid performance overall for your Hornets. And I know you guys were very happy with it, but feel like you might have some unfinished business.
Yeah, we were actually, very happy with the way the year went last year, especially considering what we lost the year before. We had a lot of young kids step up and whatnot, but we've told our kids over the summer, we went 8-2. That's a good year, but we didn't win anything. And we didn't win a league championship. We didn't win a playoff game, and we're hungry this year.
Definitely have to be hungry. The 4-1 finish in the IVC. I know you guys were happy with the 4 wins, but I know that there has to be some unfinished business maybe on the docket with the Newcomerstown Trojans. We were at that game. A phenomenal game. You guys came up just short. Just run me through that back and forth battle. You guys kept fighting.
Hold on. I'm not going to let him take the credit for that loss.
I know.
Because I'm going to get on Coach Metzger right here.
Why do you think I was asking him?
He was off to getting his, was it third, right? Your third child. His wife was in labor, and he hands the reins over to Coach Metzger. And Metzger, come on, man. We've known you for a long time, and I'm going to give Coach the loss. I'm not going to give you the loss because you weren't there. You were there for
I told Coach Gadd, I said, I'll be there this year.
No babies coming, right?
No.
All right.
No. But, I
had to give you a hard time.
It was a heck of a football game.
Oh, man, great game.
I even told him, I said, I actually didn't go back and watch that game until after the season. Kids, said that it was probably their worst loss that they've ever had in any sport. And sometimes that's, as bad as you hate to lose, a lot of those times you learn more from your losses than you do from your wins.
100%.
And I do think that's kind of been a driving force for our kids. And, hopefully, like you said, it snowballs as the year goes on here.
Coach, you got a lot of kids that you lost last year, but you have a lot of great kids coming back to this team. Jared Withrow, Drake Hutchinson, Rodney Smith, Manny Walker, Kyle Bossert, to name a few of them. Mm-hmm. A lot of the core coming back from that great 8-3 team last year. Talk to us about the kids you have coming back and how excited you are.
Yeah, I mean, we bring back 9 starters on offense and 10 on defense.
Wow.
And it's a group that it's probably the deepest team we've had in my 6 years. And we have high expectations. We think we have a pretty good offensive line. We think we have a lot of receivers. You talk Dylan and you talk Rodney Smith, but there's a lot of other guys that they're going to mix in there. I think there's going to be some younger kids and some names that early on are people going to recognize pretty quickly that they're going to be pretty good football players. But yeah, I mean, on the defensive side of the ball, again, we return a lot, and we got to do a better job at stopping the run and whatnot, and just being tougher. We've really talked about that, is just being tougher and more physical.
Now, how easy, I shouldn't say easy, but how do you go about that in the offseason? Is it as simple as hitting the weight room more, or is it maybe working a little bit more on like the 7-on-7 drills? What is it really that's the key?
Well, we've been spread for so long, and sometimes I feel like when you're spread, you can kind of get a finesse to you, so to say. You're not real nasty, and we kind of want that nastiness. So, early on here, we've been mostly under center. We're running power football. We've been in the gun a little bit, just running some gun wing T stuff. But we want to get after it up front, we think those types of things are really what are going to help us in the long run.
Coach, looking at your schedule the first half of the year, you have 3 new opponents on on the schedule: Week 1, Week 3, and Week 5. And Week 5, I'm interested for because that's a rivalry game, and it used to be a yearly rivalry game. And then when Sandy Valley went to the South, that kind of stopped. Yeah. Now it's a crossover game, but you get Sandy Valley at home, and they're supposed to be really good this year. And coaches, I know they don't look ahead, but you have 3 opponents on your schedule that you didn't play last year with Sandy Valley, Harrison Central, and Western Reserve. But then you have Conotton Valley and Tusky Valley as well in that first half. What's your goals there in the first half to get you ready for the north part of the IVC?
You know, it's really this is what we wanted to do was kind of beef up our schedule, so to say, and adding a very quality Western Reserve team. Adding a good program like Harrison Central, and then you have Sandy Valley. That's going to really help you. The games that really you want to take care of are weeks 6 through 10. Yeah. And obviously we want to win everything, win every game. But early on, we really just want to get after it, play fast, especially defensively, and just be physical. Just be physical. Like I said, you got to have an edge to you.
And really getting after it has to help a lot having those first 3 at home.
Yeah, well, Berlin Center's on the road to start, but that's difficult when you go on the road week 1 because everybody thinks they're going 10-0 week 1.
Yeah, sure.
So week 1's kind of all that unknown. You're not real sure what you're going to get, and so you got to be ready from the get-go.
And Coach, if you look at a lot of football as a whole, not at the high school level, college level, pro level, it's a quarterback game. And if you have a good quarterback, you're probably going to be pretty good. And you've got a good quarterback. And Jared Withrow comes back as a starter last year. He's only a junior, still got 2 more years with the kid. And he showed me a lot last year, getting to see him a couple of times. Got a big arm, very smart kid. How has he improved over the off season and getting ready for his junior season?
Jared's he's very accurate. He can put the ball in places where only his receivers can catch. He does a really good job at that. The one thing that we've been kind of harping on is to make better decisions. Okay. Kind of give what the defense gives you. I said, everybody knows how far you can throw the ball.
Sure.
Okay, but nobody cares.
Yeah.
We want you to make smart decisions. And then we need that big arm. We'll get that big arm out ready to go. But just him being more conscientious, of having more of a higher football IQ, and as you get older, you kind of get that.
Sure.
And, last season, it seemed like Drake Hutchinson for you guys, just living in the backfield. I know there was a lot of your Malvern defenders who were really living in the backfield. Has that been kind of the focus for the defense, just creating that pressure?
Yeah, we want to create pressure. We feel like we have about probably 6 or 7 defensive linemen that we're probably rotating through right now. We have 7 linebackers that we're actually rotating through right now, and then we got some depth in the secondary. So, told him today, if you got to play fast. If you don't play fast, hey, we got somebody else that's going to take your spot.
For sure.
So if you don't get after it, guess what? You're out.
Well, Coach, your schedule looks good. I know we'll be with you week 2 when you guys host Conotton Valley. We'll see you down at Newcomers Town as well for that rematch. That's going to be a good one. That game last year was unbelievable, overtime, even though you lost. But it was a great high school football game, and we look so much forward to getting out to seeing you guys again and appreciate everything you've done for us and allow us the access to your program and to get to know you guys and be around you guys and be at your games and stuff. We appreciate it, and we wish you nothing but the best as the season gets going next week.
We can't wait, and we just want to thank you guys for everything that you do, and being where we are, we kind of get secluded a lot of times in certain things. So, having you guys up, it's always a great thing.
The last couple of years we've had 2 schools that really come hard saying we want your coverage, being you and Fairless.
Yeah.
And we brought both of you on now, so we're up to 16 teams, and nobody else in this area can say that. We love covering high school football and high school sports in general because we do it in basketball as well. And we just we love the support you guys give us, and we can't wait to get back up there to Malvern and take in another football game. Great facility, loved it up there. It was a great time. So we'll see you week 2.
Okay, sounds good, guys.
That's Matt Churko joining us here on our Big Z Sports preview show out here at Sammy Sue's in Dover. Big thanks to the Caleb Fell Real Estate team for the sponsorship tonight of our preview show. Going to take a break, come back, and we'll be joined by yet another coach here in the 8 o'clock hour. A couple more to go, and then we'll talk about some other teams in the area that couldn't join us here tonight, but we'll get into that in the 8 o'clock hour. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
This is RJ Jacobs from DAC Vitamins and Minerals. Did you know that DAC Vitamins and Minerals has more than 40 proven equine supplements that include daily multivitamins, joint, digestion, reproduction and fertility, calming, and many other specialty products? DAC also carries a complete line of livestock products called DAC Show Contender. Feed DAC Vitamins and Minerals to get the competitive edge in the show pen. We've been feeding champions since 1983.
TMK Valley Propane is embracing remote tank monitors. Are you tired of going outside to check your propane tank or forget to order your propane on time? TMK Valley Propane now provides reliable remote tank monitoring technology. Let TMK Valley Propane take the worry away, provide timely delivery, and never run out of propane again. Thank you for your trust in TMK Valley Propane.
All the way with TMK, service with a personal touch.
This is Jordan Hartzler. At Hartzler's Quality Housing, our goal is to help customers achieve the dream of home ownership. We have been a family-owned, affordable housing business for over 40 years. We value our customers and have the knowledge and experience to help you walk through the home buying process from start to finish.
Conveniently located just off I-77 in New Philadelphia, stop by and browse their model homes or learn more by visiting Hartzlers.com. Wood Electric has been trusted with all of your electrical needs for over 30 years. They are the place to call for residential, commercial, and industrial work. Wood Electric is available 24 hours a day and ready to help with any electrical problem, outage, or installation. Wood Electric, serving Tuscarawas County and beyond since 1988. Like Wood Electric on Facebook or find them online at woodelectric.net.
In the rolling hills of Holmes County, we tend to do things a bit differently. At Kime, we're in the business of uncommon experiences, and we're here to care for your project like we care for our own. We believe that quality matters and want to help you get it right the first time, because your project deserves it. So visit Kime Home Center, your source and destination for all things home, building, and woodworking. Kime, built on trust since 1911.
Sammy Sue's Barbecue for the 2023 Big Z Sports Preview Show. Joe Geckler, Travis McClellan, and we're going to welcome in our next coach in his second stint at Strasburg. He spent 5 years there before, and now he's back in his first season as the head coach, Jim Morris. And Coach Mo, as we call you, we appreciate you taking time out of your practice schedule, and of course I know you've switched to the evening practices now as school's getting close. And how's everything going, and how's the summer transition been for you guys?
It's been very quick.
Yeah.
It's been one that's been a blur. It's great to be back into the coaching fraternity again, and being at Strasburg, it's just been so exciting. I can't even say how exciting I am to be there, how excited it is to be with those kids. Practices have been going really well. It's just been more learning our culture, learning our standard, and how we want to attack it, and how it's different than what they've had in the past, and more so than X's and O's right now.
Sure.
Yeah, Coach Mo, this is your second stint, and we talked off the air. We have all the confidence in the world in you. Your energy, your infection. Kids love that; they're drawn to that. So, but what's been the challenge round two, building that culture in such a quick time?
That's the major challenge.
Yeah.
You said it right there, in a quick time.
Yeah.
Even though I'm teaching there, I've never really coached these guys, so
Sure.
they're not really sure on how I am as a coach. They
Right.
know how I teach and see me in the hallway. And to understand the standard that we want to set for Strasburg now is something that is taking some time to get into, because we got to work through a lot of different scenarios that they might have got away with, or
Sure.
things that popped up that they were used to dealing with, that we don't want that into our
Yeah.
standard. Our culture is going to be one that, we want to be fundamentally sound, not that every school doesn't, but we're really emphasizing that.
Yeah, and you're going to have to build it brick by brick. I mean, great kids up there, great students. Unfortunately, not the season they wanted to have last year, but, you got to set the standard of the ceiling, but also the floor. And they got to understand what's acceptable and how to be in that. And, so, you said off air that you have 24 young men out there, and, you're setting the standard for them. They got to learn how to win.
Yeah, and they're getting there.
Yeah.
They just got to trust it.
Sure.
And that's the big thing. To trust one another to get the job done, to do what they need to do, to trust the coaching staff that what we're telling them and the position we're putting them in is where we want them to be, and then to let them just be free to be them and then enjoy it and go play.
Sure.
And that's taken some time. I mean, the practices are different. They're organized differently. The young men have really shown up and done what they need to do for that, and I'm very thankful for that. They care that the locker room is, a good locker room. They like each other. They might kid a little bit too much, but they're kids, so I'm okay with that. But when we get out and we get focused and we play the way we're capable of playing, we're pretty talented. We're pretty good.
Coach, a lot of coaches in our area, they don't like to single out kids, but sometimes we just ask you about those kids. And if you don't want to individually talk about them, we understand that. But you do have some really good talent coming back with your sophomore quarterback, Gage Moore, Matt Cox, Parker Edwards, Caden Thomas, Derek Rissler, Drake Reifenschneider. A lot of young talent there for you to talk about that core for you as you continue to build this program, like Travis said, brick by brick.
That's it. I'm really excited with our 5 seniors. You mentioned Drake and Matt. Luke Tucker is one that we're going to lean on. He's going to be a middle backer, and he kind of is the life of the party for us. That when he's organized and focused, and there's probably nobody better on our team that can get things done like he can. We got some other guys that I think are going to step up and play really well. I like our line. And again, I really don't want to mention a lot of names because I know I'll leave someone out that's deserving, and that's the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
But I do like our offensive line and defensive line and backers are a good set. They're working really hard. I think our defense is going in the right direction. Coach Reidenball has done a great job getting them to play fundamentally sound and understand the concept that he wants, and the kids have really accepted what he's doing. And in our first scrimmage, our defense played very well, so we're really excited about that standard. And if we can do that, the offense will come along and we'll get where we need to be.
At this point in the year, defense is always a little ahead of the offense here, but let's jump into your 2023 schedule. New to the schedule, Steubenville Central Catholic, Latonia, Tusky Valley. You lost Waterloo, but the IVC, it's brutal football in that it's good football every week, and you better bring it or you're going to be in trouble in the IVC. Not you in particular, but anybody who doesn't come ready on a Friday night.
Absolutely. They're established teams. I look at East Canton, whose coach has been there, forever. Spider's been a great guy. Exactly. Yep. Malvern, they just keep just reloading. I don't know how a school that size is able to get those kind of athletes year in and year out, but they're fundamentally sound and they're very good athletes. Our rivals, TCC, they always come up with someone that's going to step up and be one of the better players in the county. And
Casey does a great job over there.
It does. And Buckeye Trail is totally. They play good, solid football. They run the wing tee better than anybody that I've seen at our level. And there is no downtime. We got to be ready to go, and that's the thing that we're trying to emphasize each practice, that we don't have an easy team. I told the kids that this year, unfortunately, we're probably going to be about 7 homecoming games this year. And that's not a good thing, because if you're playing on the road and you're their homecoming game, There's a reason for that. So we're going to change that culture.
Yeah, Coach, so early in the year, you're going to start your first 2 games on the road, 3 of your first 4. Then coming down the home stretch, you only have 2 away games out of your last 5 or 6. Talk about that early season schedule, going away to Rittman, away to Steubenville Central Catholic, home, and then away to Canaan Valley, about riding the roller coaster, but handling the valleys along with the peaks.
Well, that's it. I couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, coming in as a first-year coach again, and into this program, I'm so excited. I can't tell you that we're going to be on the road, because that pressure for the kids to open up that many games early in the season at home sometimes is a little bit too much to handle.
Sure.
Going to the road, we've already did a away scrimmage. We know how to travel. We know what it's going to take to do that. I think it's going to build our standard even more. I think our culture is going to get better, and I think we're going to get a lot tougher as we go. So I think that's a huge benefit for us, and I just can't wait for our young men to walk in down at Steubenville. I mean, I know the horse won't be on, and I know that they won't have the crowd that they have. But to be in that environment and to see that stadium, that's one of my favorite stadiums outside of Crater. That stadium's just iconic, and I want our kids to experience that atmosphere. So that is awesome. Coming back home, then I think we'll be really tested. And I think we'll be able to handle the peaks and the valleys a lot better, because we'll be in those 2 atmospheres for that home game.
Sure.
And then, Canaan Valley's Canaan Valley. We're going to go down there, and we're going to have to play a really good football team.
Yeah.
Coach, I moved here in 2011 from Cincinnati. You were at Strasburg when I moved here, and then you got out of coaching, and I know you were assistant at Dover for a little while, and watching your son grow up and play, and now he's, I believe, he's an assistant coach somewhere, right?
He is. He's the receiver coach at Muskingum University.
That's right. So, you've been around the game a long time, but getting back as a head coach, what does that do for you at this point, and how much has football changed as a head coach from the first time?
That's a great question. What it's done for me is the excitement issue. I'm just so excited to be back at the helm.
Yeah.
I've learned so much. I mean, not that I'm always going to think I was a pretty good coach, but as a head coach goes, I think now with the experiences that I gained after I left Strasburg and went to Dover and went to Sandy Valley, I got a new life. I got a new way of looking at it, and I think it's really improved my coaching style. It hasn't improved my X's and O's or anything like that. I mean, that is something you just keep learning year in and year out. But as far as like relating to kids, handling problems, handling what they don't tell you a head coach is supposed to do.
Sure.
That stuff, I think right now I'm the best that I am right now as a person.
That's awesome.
I think that's really what it's about. I've learned from such great men. I mean, I've had such great role models as coaches, as friends, and just being able to do that. Kids, people say kids change all the time. Kids are different. They're not motivated. They're not. I don't see that as much. I think you have to find different ways to get them to motivate. So that might be more the difference than the fact that the kids are changed. It's just how are we going to motivate them to do a game where you can go out and smack someone in the face and it's okay.
Sure.
Where that's not what society is anymore.
For sure.
Coach, this is a difficult question, but I'm going to throw it to you. I'm going to tell you what I think your 3 greatest strengths are, and then maybe you tell me what you think yours are. Because I think you're a phenomenal coach.
Well,
I really do.
That. Thank you.
I'll go on record, off record. Joe, I don't know if you know, I got to play when he was coaching, so I never had him as a head coach, but I think the way you relate to people and kids, I think your energy and positivity, and I think the way you exude just that fire and just that love of the game, it's so infectious. X's and O's are X's and O's, but those are 3 things that I think make you such a phenomenal coach.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you. I'll go right there with all those, because that's outstanding.
I know you don't want to talk about yourself, but
that is outstanding. So I can't. I'll end on that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Coach, one thing that I learned about you over the last couple of years, when you were at Dover, Travis and I would see you when doing games and stuff, and we talked to you pregame, and I just saw the relationship that you and Travis have, which was really cool to see. And one thing I learned, a little touchdown grass. So, and then at Dover, when it was a Dover, touchdown turf,
Right.
And Travis gave me some great stories about that. And so for the people listening that maybe not know about the touchdown grass, explain that pregame little ritual that you have?
Okay, well, that's a great question because it brings up one of those mentors that I was talking about. When I played football back in the dark ages, we had a coach named Rick Staley that was assistant coach at Dover. And before every game, he would come by and he'd hand out grass. Say, put this in your socks, touchdown grass, get in the end zone.
Wow.
So as I was going through college and stuff, I'd always go and snip a little bit for myself and put it in and did that. And it always seemed to give me, like, confidence that I was going to get in the end zone.
Sure.
So as I started coaching, I came back and coached at Dover again. And it was right at the time that Rick was winning the track state championship and stuff. So we got talking about it, and I asked him kind of like, did you come up with that? And he said, oh, that's an old thing, whatever. And so I kind of forgot about it a little bit as I was coaching because I went to some different schools.
Sure.
And then he got ill and passed away, and I thought, you know what? What a great way to honor his tradition by keeping that alive.
That's awesome.
So I've always, ever since '94.
Oh, wow.
I've been doing that.
And
That's awesome.
he did it when I played. Now, when Dover went to turf, Coach Mo excavated some touchdown grass and has grown it at his house. That's a true story.
That is a true story.
Yeah.
Take a little piece of turf and put it in your yard.
I
right?
actually took a big chunk and put it in my front
yard. A big chunk of grass from
That's
Crater
awesome.
and put it in his house and grew it so he could give out touchdown grass even though there was turf.
That is so cool. And when you go from a big school, I mean, you went from Strasburg as the head coach. You stepped away from there. You went to Dover as assistant under a great head coach in Dan Ift and just a huge, big program, the biggest program in the area along with New Philadelphia. But you get tutelage under that type of program, and then you go to Sandy Valley for a year or two, and you work under Brian Gamble and the success that he's had up there. What did you learn about yourself in those two stops? Obviously going to be different, I think, in those two stops. I think Dan's going to teach you something different that maybe Brian did.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, I gained a lot of valuable information. Dan, very methodical. I mean, there is nothing that is unanswered. I mean, we sit and we make sure all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, and you talk about fundamentally sound practices. I mean, they're on order, they follow it, and it's the things the structure that really I needed.
Sure.
Because I wasn't, the first time around, I would let things kind of slip, and we didn't have that structure. Sure. And I think that was part of the problem of my frustration because of that. To see it again and to get back involved with it, and now, granted, the first time I was with Dan, we were running the wing tee, so things were like smash mouth football, sure. And it was long days. We got to the 5 wide, we still had some long days, but now I got to see a different way that Dan adjusted to that kind of thing.
Sure.
And that really helped me a great deal. Going to Brian, he's a little bit more laid back.
Yeah.
Picked up some nice drills and stuff that he likes and focused on. Like the way he organized the practice, especially for a wide open kind of offense and how quick and crisp it would go. And so I got some really good ideas that I wanted to take and use, and that's why I mean that's part of the reason I'm so excited to be a head coach again, because I really feel I have some of these ideas that I just want to see, are they going to work?
Sure. You've never gotten out of the game. You've been a coach as long as I can remember, but you were a head coach before, came to an assistant, now you're back as a head coach. What has changed about the game in that period? Yeah, you were on it, but now you're the head man again. What's changed as far as running a program in those stints?
Oh, you know what? It's always been time consuming. I mean, people laugh and, they always joke about it, especially with my wife. Is it football season? Well, she said, is it a day in the year?
Yeah.
I mean, when is it not football season anymore?
Yep.
But, so that really hasn't changed. But what has changed, I think, is the speed of the game. I mean, we had kids that I thought were really fast in the 90s and early 2000s. I mean, guys that really could fly. But the amount of kids now that can fly like that, and actually you kind of think they're a bit slow.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing to me. I mean,
Sure.
I don't know if I could have played in this day and age, and I thought I was pretty fast. So, I mean, that's a big difference.
Sure.
Trying to work through different times and meeting different schedules because you have kids doing different things now. That's been really a challenge. They're just, I don't think, I mean, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Sure.
But yeah, that part of it I think has been eye-opening for me.
Okay.
Well, Coach, we are honored and blessed to have you back here on Big Z Sports, and we are just so excited for you to take over this Strasburg program and see where you take it, and you know, the relationship that we get to build with you now. And I know Travis has had one for a long time, but you know, we are so honored to have you here, and thanks so much for taking time out of your. I know you had practice tonight. You got here as quick as you could, and man, we know you want to go home, and you got other things to do. You got scrimmages coming up, and week 1's next week, so we appreciate the time, and we look forward to seeing you down the road and talking to you on Friday nights.
Oh, I appreciate everything you guys do. I mean, the Valley is very lucky to have the coverage and what you guys do, and we're always open to whatever you need, whatever you want. There's no secrets. So thank you so much for having the Strasburg Tigers, and I appreciate all the work you put into it.
Absolutely. That's Coach Jim Morris, or Coach Mo, as we call him here at Big Z Sports. We appreciate his time, and we are going to take a break, come back, and we'll have one final coach, and then we'll talk about some other teams that aren't necessarily here tonight, but we're still going to talk about them a little bit before we wrap up here at 9 o'clock. Live from Sammy Sue's on Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
This is Carly Mills. At First Federal Community Bank, our mission is to empower the financial well-being of our community one person at a time. Through integrity and quality, we earn the trust of our customers and exceed their expectations. First Federal Community Bank, investing in our community since 1898. Serving your banking needs in Dover, New Philadelphia, Yorksville, Sugar Creek, Berlin, and Mount Hope. First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC.
Is your vehicle banged up? Do you want fast, professional service to get you back on the road? This is Garrett Jacobs with AutoWorks Collision Center. We service cars, trucks, SUVs, and even semi-trucks and RVs. Whether you need auto glass replacement, paintless dent repair, assistance with warranty and insurance, or just a free estimate, AutoWorks has you covered. We even offer alignments for your heavy-duty vehicles like buses, motorhomes, and semis with our state-of-the-art Hunter alignment system. Call 330-878-4223. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Let AutoWorks of Strasburg work for you.
The certified public accountants at Niedenthal & Company believe in the value of relationships. Niedenthal & Company has been in business for over 50 years in your community, helping individuals and businesses grow. Niedenthal & Company can help manage and prepare your payroll, plan your estate, and prepare your business and personal income taxes. Stop into the Niedenthal facility on North Worcester Avenue in Dover and become a valued client today.
Dr. Nathan Springer is in the business of making smiles, specializing in braces and Invisalign for children and adults. Dr. Springer provides smiles that can be recognized anywhere. Just look at the winning smile on some of the players. Compliments of Dr. Nathan Springer Orthodontics. Hey, that smile of pride on the face of mom and dad might be from Dr. Springer too. Dr. Nathan Springer Orthodontics, in the business of making smiles, at 107 Ray Avenue Northeast in New Philadelphia.
Planning your next vacation or home improvement project and worried about managing expenses? CSB can help with that. Setting a goal is the first step to achieving your vision, and CSB's Money Manager tool helps you get started. Whether you are recovering from Christmas spending or preparing to send kids to college, the Personal Financial Management tool helps you set goals, track your spending, and monitor your progress. Money Manager is available within CSB's online banking. Check it out today. A Commercial and Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Is there anything better than high school sports? Hi, this is Dan Hosteller of Ferris Chevrolet Buick Toyota. High school sports brings out the best of our high schools and our communities, and the people at Ferris have always been behind the importance of athletics and academics. Just like we believe in the great cars and trucks that we sell and service every day. Like high school sports, we are a great tradition in the area. Ferris on the Wabash, New Philadelphia.
Big Brothers Big Sisters needs your help. Hi, this is Monique Duke, and we are committed to matching 82 children that have been waiting to meet their big. Do you have 4 hours a month that you could share with a little doing something you both enjoy? We match bigs and littles with similar interests, so this could be fishing, going to a ball game, going to church, or even shopping. If you would be interested in changing a child's life, please contact us at 330-339-6916 or visit us at bigsforkids.com/volunteer.
In Dover for the Big Z Sports Preview Show 2023 edition. Big thanks to the Caleb Fell Real Estate Agency for the sponsorship tonight for our preview show. Big thanks to Claxon Communications as well for our live stream. Lydia Brady over there pushing all the buttons, making us look good and sound good on the live stream on YouTube. If you haven't followed us on social media, make sure you do. Facebook, WTUZ Big Z Sports. On X, also known as Twitter, at Big_Z Sports. And on Instagram, you can find us there. It's a sports center of highlights on Friday nights, and this guy's team is usually on there quite a bit. And we welcome in head coach of the Garaway Pirates, Jason Wallach, in his 23rd season at the helm, Coach. And wow, 23 years. You start year number 23, and it's going to be a fun year for you guys. You lost a lot of talent, but you get a lot of talent back. And how's practice been going?
Hot.
Hot? Yeah? It was hot today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. No, it's gone well. You know, we've had great energy, great enthusiasm. Kids, we feel, have worked really hard. You know, we had our first day that wasn't very good, probably like everybody else, you know, after a 5-day layoff, and then we come back in full pads. And, you know, but other than that first day, yeah, things have gone pretty well.
Good.
Coach, we're gonna touch on last year a little bit, and we're gonna touch on the last few years. You've had a ton of success. I know you don't want to name individuals, but what a program you've built out there on top of the hill, and your kids are learning, and they're learning on the backs of the guys that came before them. But just talk about that little tradition. You've had a ton of success, at least in this is what, year 5, 6 for me?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have had historically 10, 11, 12, 13 win seasons, and just talk about building that process.
Well, I mean, we can't do it without the kids, obviously. Sure. You know, we've been very fortunate to have some really good classes come through. You know, I'm very blessed to have an unbelievable coaching staff that has been with me forever. You know, so it makes my job a lot easier during the season. You know, it's kind of a running joke. You know, I take care of the off season, they take care of the season. So, you know, I just pretty much get to sit back and watch and evaluate and throw my 2 cents in. But no, we've been very blessed to have some really good classes. Obviously, our class last year,
sure.
You know, they were 40 and something. I mean,
wow.
they won 40 games in 4 years, and one of those was a COVID year where we had a shortened season.
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know, I mean, I would have loved to have seen what they could have done in 4 full seasons. But, you know, it's been fun since 2011, that first year you make the playoffs, and now, you know, it just makes our job so much easier where kids don't want to disappoint, and they you know, they work hard, and we've been pretty successful, like you said, you know, but you know, we can't do it without the kids, and I couldn't do it without our coaches.
You mentioned the coaches, Coach, and we talk a lot in the off season, and you say, hey, my coaches don't leave. And over the last couple of years, there's been some openings in the area and around the area that I'm thinking, oh man, who's going to get plucked from your staff? And you text me and say, my coaches don't leave me, and that's a testament to you and what you're doing out there.
Well, they've got a lot of pride in our program. You know, when you, and I'll forget guys, of course, like always. That's why I don't like to mention guys. Yeah. But you know, you got guys like Preston Elmore that have been with me for 16 years now, I think. You know, something along those lines. I mean, it's been a long time. You know, he's a Garaway guy. Cedric Gerber, who's been our offensive line coach for years. Yeah. You know, maybe Cedric's, I think he's 18 years.
Oh, wow.
You know, that, again, a Garaway guy. You know, they love the program, and they're invested. You know, Coach Wes, you know, drives to work in the morning early so he can leave work and come to practice, and then turn around and drive all the way back to Frederickstown or wherever he works, way up there in Wayne County. I mean, so, you know, we've got guys who are committed, you know, and guys that have been there for a long time. Darren Yossick's been with us, I think, 8 years now, something like that. And, you know, my brother's been there now. This will be his 5th year, I believe.
That's really, wow,
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think he came in when JT was a freshman, and, you know, so Chad's been there forever. You know, Ben Miller, right out of college, comes and you know, has stayed. You know, he's not from around here and could have went back home, but I think he enjoys it, the camaraderie. And, you know, we got a really tight-knit staff that, gets along very well, and yeah, I mean, it is. It's a testament to our community too,
Sure.
that is so supportive. They see that too. You don't get that everywhere. You know, you don't get new stands, new turf, new scoreboard, new this, new that. You know, baseball turf,
A new
softball
building
turf,
coming.
Locker rooms.
new complex, new weight room coming in right
beautiful.
now. I mean, so our community is very supportive, and you know, I think our coaches understand that too. So great administration that we coach for, and yeah, so it's you know, we've been really lucky, really fortunate. So we'll see what happens though.
So you kind of took a little bit of my question, Coach. We talked off the air, and how special your group is, and it really is. A lot of staff say, "Yeah, we're close, we're this," but you guys truly are friends. And I've been blessed to get to be around you a little bit in the last 5 years, and you truly are friends. And I think that's so special, and that breeds out into your program. Yeah, you had the players, and you've built great success, but I think that's a huge part of it, how your staff is and how you get along and how you work together. It's great to watch. It was fun for me to watch, and you know, I think that's pretty rare, and I think it's special.
Yeah, and I told you I'd forget somebody. I mean, how can you forget, you know, Dave Shutt, who
The Hall of Famer.
the Hall of Famer,
Yep.
you know, who coached for me back in my first or second year, and then you know took the head boys job and coached basketball for you know a lot of years, and then he's been back with us. I think this is his third year back with us. You know, Terry Corder, who coached me as a freshman, TC Papaw. I mean, you know what? But it's little guys like that that are committed to the program with Coach Corder, who, you know what, his job is he comes and holds up our play card and gets our huddles lined up. But it's a job that we don't have to do, so we can coach and we can watch our positions and do those things. So, and I told you I'd forget somebody, you know. So, and I'm sure I'm.
And it's
still,
not even a player; it's a coach.
I'm sure,
so.
yeah, I'm sure I'm still forgetting somebody, but yeah. You know.
And you did lose a coach, but he got another job as an administrator. So you know, and he didn't take a coaching job. So that happened.
Yeah, and
you know?
Josh and Coach Jarvis was with us at the
for
beginning.
sure.
He left, you know, once he got a teaching job and went to Tusky Valley and was a head baseball coach there, and then came back to the community. I mean, Garraway graduate, and so we hate to lose Coach Jarvis and wish him the best of luck as a Philly administrator. Still not real happy with him.
Yeah.
You know, and some of those Philly administrators that are some of my friends that I get on.
gotcha.
Jeff Williams. Just oh wait, did I say his name?
Yeah,
no, I
you did.
No, but no. Yeah, it's. Yeah.
I know you don't like talking about kids. You lost a bunch of talent. We mentioned those in the two-a-days. You got some great kids coming back. How's the quarterback battle going? Obviously, you're going into your second scrimmage, I believe, on Friday night against St. Clairsville. Did good things down at Cambridge, but a little different test this week.
Yeah, we got to continue to get better, and we know that. And you know, that's no disrespect to Cambridge. They lost a huge senior class as well. I think they 17 or 18 seniors. He said, you know, as Coach Leake said. So. You know, it will be a bigger test this week with St. Clairsville, but we went down, we competed. You know, we saw some good things out of a lot of guys. We saw a lot of things that need fixed, and I know that's coach speak, but you know, we're throwing in a lot of new starters, especially defensively. You know, so and there's you know there's a standard, and Coach West has done a great job setting that standard, and our guys know the expectations, and they're working hard. We're getting better every day. We really are. I know guys will come up here and say that, but if you would look at us from our first 7-on-7 to where we are right now.
I think Travis saw that first 7-on-7.
Well, yeah.
Well, I saw part of it. They started early on me.
Yeah, we're on Coach F time there, right?
Yeah.
So, and we've gotten a lot better. We've got a long way to go if we're going to, you know, compete for an IVC title and hopefully, you know, another long playoff run. We've got a long way to go, but our kids, again, they're committed and dedicated to getting better every day.
Coach, and you've had that success, so you're still the hunted. Let's be real. You're still the hunted. But let's jump to your schedule. You start at home against Bel Air. That's been a phenomenal game here the last 3 or 4 years that we got to see the 6-foot-tall grass one year. But then you're 3 out of your first 5 are on the road. So let's talk about that early schedule.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. We'll find out a lot week 1. Bel Air's got some really good linemen back. You know, they lost a couple skill kids, but you know, we feel one of our strengths of our team right now is us in the trenches, and Bel Air is going to present a huge challenge for us, and it's going to be a great measuring stick for us to kind of show us where we're at. You know, they're in our region. You know, being in Division 6 Region 23 with them, you know, it'll tell us where we're at. And then, you know, week 2 is Waynedale. Again, a much improved football team. You know, we got them at home. West Muskingum. I'm telling you, week 3 is going to be. It'll be a challenge. It'll be a bloodfest on the hill.
At least you have them on the hill, right?
And they're new to the schedule, right, Coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Thank goodness they're
they're at home because I know this is their team. Their coach has been there for 4 years, kind of the team that he's kind of been waiting on. A really nice senior class, really good running back. So that'll be a huge test for us. And then Carrollton, probably be down a little bit, but he's done a great job out there too. Thankfully, we don't have to chase Olstrom, no pun intended, around. And then East Canton, the crossover. Don't know a whole lot about them because we haven't played them for a few years, but Coach Miller, Spider Miller, does a great job. Obviously a legend head football coach who will have his guys ready to play.
And then obviously the gauntlet of the IVC South. Claymont going to be much improved this year. Indian Valley supposed to be their year, so to speak, after a regional final run last year. Tusky Valley, Sandy Valley supposed to be much improved, and of course the rivalry game down at West Lafayette Week 10. Yeah,
it's always a tough schedule. We believe we play in a very, very strong small school conference. When you look over the years, the playoff runs that Indian Valley's had and Ridgewood's had, over the years, and fortunately us as well. So it's tough weekend, tough week out, and it's going to be a challenge. We got to come ready to play because, as you said, Travis, we still got the target on our chest. Yeah. And we're 24-2 the last 2 years. So
you haven't lost a conference game in 2 years.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Just telling you.
Yeah, appreciate that, Joe.
So I got to go do a.
You always got to throw something in there.
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got to go do a two-day segment with Claymont and Coach Henry and asked him about coaching with his dad. So I'm going to ask you about coaching with your brother and also coaching your kids and your nephews. What are the great things and what are some of the challenges?
The challenges would be with Chad, obviously. For the last 46 years, we've done nothing but fight. So, 47 years next week. So,
really?
Yeah. You can wish me happy birthday.
Happy
it's okay.
birthday, Coach.
There you go. Thanks.
It is going to be your birthday the day of the game, right?
Day before.
The third. Okay.
Close enough.
All
So,
right.
Man, Joe, come on.
I knew that.
So it's a challenge.
Okay.
But
He's
no,
the older
I love
brother, right?
he's the oldest.
Oh,
We'll make
okay.
sure that's clear.
He's 50 now.
He
That's
is 50.
right. I
He is
forgot about
50.
that. Yeah.
We're all getting old.
Yeah, yes we are.
But no, it is. But I wouldn't want it any other way.
Right, I think that's got to be
obviously.
special.
Yeah, it is. And and I got to throw my dad in there too.
Yeah, sure.
Who's filmed for me for all 23 years. He's
the best cook around.
Makes a great chili.
The best cook around. Everybody knows in the county that he makes great chili.
Right.
So, very supportive family,
Yeah.
obviously. And then, when I first started coaching, Joe, I know I've told you this before, I never envisioned coaching my own kid.
Right.
Coaching Jarrett and Wyatt has been a blessing, but I never really had those aspirations to coach my own kid. But after you've done it for 20 years and he becomes a freshman, you're like, okay, why not?
Yeah, yeah.
So, it's a challenge. But, when we leave the stadium, we don't talk football.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. You take the coach's hat off and become dad then?
Yeah, I got to become dad.
Sure.
Yep. And I don't take my school issues home with me after school, and I can't take my football issues with me home after football. So we'll talk a little bit, little things that he can get better at, and it's a challenge. It's fun. I love it. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of coaching Jarrett and Wyatt and Jace, and Graham's a little 7th grader. I'm looking forward to coaching him, hopefully, God willing, in a few years. I mean, you never know. But, yeah.
Well, I know
Good question.
I know you don't like talking about individual kids, but I saw a story the other day on social media that I want to ask you about. And this is a really cool story, and I think you're okay to talk about this. But you have a kid coming out this year that hasn't played football in a while because of a health condition, and that's Jackson Reifenschneider. And he's back out to play football for you. It has a really cool story and dealt with some things throughout his life. But how cool is it to have him back out for his senior year, and just that story and that that thing for you is to be able to coach him again and get him back out there one final time.
Well, it is. Jackson is a phenomenal kid, great leader, works his tail off every day. But I'll go back. I was chaperoning prom, so thanks Susie Schlabo, I guess, for getting me to chaperone prom, and I just thought, this kid's 6'3", 245. I mean, great athlete. Loved to play football when he's a freshman. We were looking for great things, with him moving forward. And then obviously with his health conditions, was not allowed to play as a sophomore and junior. And chaperoning prom, and Jackson's there, and I ran into him and I just said, "Hey, Jackson, just so you know, I'd love for you to play football. If there's any way we can work it out, You come play defense. You don't have to practice offense, or play offense. You don't have to practice defense. We'll work it out because our kids understand and our kids know. With the things that he's battled and progressed through over the years, and he's like, really? I was like, yeah, heck yeah. We'll be better with you than we are without you. And well, then I forgot when I told our athletic director that, hey, Jackson, I think, is going to come back out and play football. We're all excited, and he goes, oh, I'll probably make the golf coach real happy. Well, I forgot he golfed the last 2 years.
Okay,
so,
all right.
I did feel bad there, but I know he loves the game. It is. It's a great story. It is. And, when I was reading that on social media the other day, too, I thought, here's a perfect candidate for the Art Tyner, the State Art Tyner Award. Just the things that he's been through. Nobody really understands, of the challenges that he's had his whole life.
Sure.
I mean, and, he's held up really well. We're really excited about him and looking forward to seeing the things that he can do on the field. We just got to keep him healthy and keep him out there.
That's so great because it's way much more than the game. That's so great.
It is, yeah. And the great thing about football,
Sure.
and I say it all the time, football is the greatest game in the world. I don't say that because I coach it. Even when I don't coach it, I will say the same thing. It just teaches you so many life lessons, so many stories
Sure.
that come out every year, just life stories in general, from student athletes across the state, not just around us. The Art Tyner Award obviously is a special state award, and I'm going to put him up for that because he's going to be a great candidate for that award. So, but it is it's the greatest game in the world, and you got limited opportunities to play it, and he wanted one more opportunity, so hopefully things will work out.
Yeah. So we talked about the players, the coaches, and how close-knit. We talked about the community support, but in your 23 years, you've had such great success. I'm positive that you've had opportunities to go elsewhere. But what makes it special up on the hill on Friday night? You guys pack the place every Friday, no matter the nameless, faceless opponent. You guys are packing that place. And getting to call games there is something special about up on the hill Friday nights. Talk about that.
Well, I had a wise couple old guys that offered me the job 23 years ago. Kevin Keffer and Tom Jones, that they were administrators at the time, and I really respected those two gentlemen. They coached for me my first year to help me get started, and I still remember Kevin Keffer saying 23 years ago, listen, don't ever leave this place. And that's always stuck in the back of my mind. And and Travis, you hit it. When you have the community support, when you have the administrative support, you've got tremendous business support in the district, and I can't name them because I know I'll definitely forget some of those guys who have.
But you can just listen to us and you hear them. Yeah, probably all of them.
Most definitely, a great portion of them, and that's evident with listening to Friday nights, and you got,
Dak and Beats Parlor. And
you
all
can
the,
mention them because I don't want to mention them and forget somebody,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's something to be said when a lot of those businesses are either Sugar Creek businesses or people who graduated from Garraway or have some type of connection. And so it has, I mean, there's been opportunities, yes, to go other places, and it probably helps that I live in the great town of Winfield, Ohio, and I know I'm not leaving because I'm on the Wallet compound, and I hate to drive, I hate traffic. So that little 6-7 mile drive every day for the last 25 years has not been a bad thing.
It's just the atmosphere there on a Friday night. That's pretty special. That's fun. It's fun to call games there. That's just a great atmosphere to do that in.
It is. I mean, 25 years ago, listen, I remember lining the track because it was a cinder track. I remember taking my truck and going over to Belton and getting the drag and driving my truck around the track to try to get the track ready for track season. I mean, the old wooden bleachers that you used to walk up and down and worried about falling through them.
Yeah.
I mean,
When you talk about the community support, I live in the community. I live in Sugar Creek. When I had my health issues back in May, the community stepped up for me, and it was just incredible, like, to see that. And my kid doesn't go there, but yet it's the community support that you talk about. Every time we talk to you is you preach community, and it's and I see it firsthand, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're blessed. We're very blessed. We're very fortunate, and what a great atmosphere. We were talking to Coach Slusser here earlier tonight, and I think it was a 2011 or 12 game. It was like 14-8. Probably the loudest game I've ever been involved with, other than maybe 2 years ago down at Ridgewood. In that game, that was a great game too. But it was so loud. We're trying to yell, instructions to our kids. I mean, it's a nail biter. They're driving down to score at the end. And finally, I just turned around and put my hands up because you couldn't hear anything, And I mean, just because, you're right. We pack it. They're 5 and 6 deep on the fence because, the history of Garraway is you stand on the fence instead of sitting in the bleachers.
Sure.
But that's okay. But now, our bleachers are full and our fence is full. So
Nothing better than those Friday night lights.
There's not. For nothing better than Friday night on the hill, I'm telling you. And I know, there's a lot of tradition in the area and some beautiful stadiums in the area. But I tell you, for a small school atmosphere, I know I'm a little.
You're allowed to be biased.
I'm biased.
Oh yeah.
I am biased, but and it takes a lot of people. It takes all of our press box guys, our sound guys, our the big video board, and I mean. Blaine Lintern. You can go all the way down to Blaine Lintern, who does all of our video stuff and puts highlights together and does our soundboard. And I mean, so.
When final question, we'll let you go with this. Be remiss not to ask you, Joe Honigford, obviously with the Arizona Cardinals training camp now in the NFL. How's he doing? Have you heard from him? And what's the status for Joel?
Funny you asked. I just heard from him today. He had a little bit of a hamstring injury at the start of camp, but has been back on the field. They have their first scrimmage Friday night as well. So he's really excited, looking forward to it. They just put out a depth chart, and he's right there. Third or fourth on the depth chart, and I think he's got a shot. Whether it's practice squad or making the team. Hopefully, he makes a team. We can go to Cleveland and watch. Play the Cardinals. Hopefully, with a little extra whatever on the game. So
you gonna go to Pittsburgh if he's there, or are you gonna stay away from Pittsburgh?
What's the name of that town?
I know, right?
No.
Yep. It's a tough one.
Yeah. And listen, and I know you said that was the last thing, but. I got to throw a shout out to my wife and family too, because I couldn't do it without a supportive wife and kids who, my 2 daughters are both out of school. They still love Garraway football. They still come to the games. They still cheer us on. Wife that's allowed me to do this for 23 years, and I'm not always the best husband when I come home, especially during camping 2 days. It's hot, it's long, and I'm grouchy. A little thing goes bad, and I said I don't take things home. I don't talk about them at home, but it's still. I mean, it
affects you.
It affects you, and so just a little shout out to Kelly and the kids.
And you got to think, you guys have raised 4 kids in 23 years, and you doing football, and like you said, the support staff that you have at home is just as important as you do on the field.
Definitely.
Coach Jason Wallach, our 2022 Big Z Sports Coach of the Year, joining us here for our final interview of the night of our preview show. We thank him for coming out. Good luck on your scrimmage, and guess what? I'll see you week 1.
I'm sure you will.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, that's Jason Wallach joining us here. We'll talk more high school football after this timeout. You listen to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
Cush Financial Group has been proudly serving the financial needs of local community members for over 35 years. The team at Cush Financial follows an industry-leading service model with the unique approach and fiduciary responsibilities associated with their board-certified financial planner. With over 75 years of combined experience, the advisors at Cush Financial Group are here to help you achieve your financial goals. Contact the office at 330-308-8700 or visit cushfinancial.com to schedule your free consultation today. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Independent Capital Company Incorporated, member FINRA, SIPC. Top Notch Auto on East Plum Alley in Janaden, your one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, offering an experienced staff that can handle just what you need to keep your vehicle running at its best. Top Notch Auto specializes in diagnostics with state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment. Whether your vehicle needs routine maintenance or major repairs, Top Notch Auto can handle all your vehicle needs. They also offer a large selection of tire brands, including Goodyear, Kelly, and Cooper, just to name a few. Find Top Notch Auto LLC on Facebook or call them at 740-561-4100.
The Tuscarawas County dairy farmers want you to know that low-fat chocolate milk is a great choice for student athletes and hard workers. It provides the nutrition needed after practices, games, or a hard day at work, and it tastes great. Low-fat chocolate milk is packed with carbohydrates for energy, proteins to repair muscles, fluids to rehydrate, plus vitamins and minerals to help build strong bones and bodies. It's the official beverage of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Tuscarawas County dairy farmers. Farms, family, food.
based on a foundation of trust and integrity. Jeff Wallach LLC is a family-owned and operated company proudly serving the greater Northeast Ohio and surrounding communities with experience in residential and commercial projects. The pursuit of quality workmanship and commitment to superior customer service has positioned Jeff Wallach LLC as a respected installer of seamless siding, spouting, and replacement windows and doors for more than 25 years. Turn your vision into a reality by visiting jeffwallachllc.com.
PAC Drilling, a family-owned and operated company since 2005 in Bolivar, takes pride in being an economic oil and gas drilling company. PAC's objective is to contribute to American energy independence through profitable development, operation, and marketing of oil and natural gas wells. PAC also employs operating technicians to oversee each and every well drilled to maximize its productivity and longevity. Contact PAC Drilling at pacdrilling.com.
Hi, this is Jan McInturf. The past 30 years, the residents in and around the Tuscarawas County have made the call to the realtors and staff of McInturf Realty for buying and selling of residential and commercial properties. We truly live in a great community, and in all of those communities, there is nothing better than high school sports. For myself and all the agents and staff at McInturf Realty, we would like to wish all the area athletes good luck this season. And make the call to McInturf Realty, 330-364-SOLD, or find us online at McInturfRealty.net.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov
or go to empowertusk.com.
The First National Bank of Denison appreciates the hard work and dedication area athletes exhibit to be the best they can be for their team. We follow that same philosophy with our customers, working hard to build personal relationships and making our services convenient. The First National Bank of Denison's community involvement is important to us, and we love supporting our local schools. The First National Bank of Denison, with offices in Denison, Dover, Jeanette Hutton, South Broadway, and Schönbrunn in New Philadelphia. We have our roots where others have their branches. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
In Dover. Big thanks to the Caleb Fell Real Estate Agency as well for putting on our show here tonight at Sammy Sue's. Big thanks to all the coaches that showed up tonight. We love what we do, and we love talking high school football. 16 teams on the docket for Big Z Sports this year. Some coaches could not be here, whether it be team practice or other prior commitments, which is totally understandable. It's a tough time of the year, and we do this usually about 10 days before the season starts, and we appreciate all the coaches that take their time out to come join us, and you know, it's nice to talk a little football, kind of get you in that mode, right? And you get to talk to, you know, we got to talk to Coach Mo for the first time to Big Z, because he hasn't been a head coach since we've been doing this. So, and get some other coaches out here, and it's been a great time, of course, to talk some high school football.
Yeah, and you got to remember those coaches that weren't here. We did go to two-a-days for every one of those coaches, and those two-a-day practices will still be dropping on our Facebook page every day. There's a new one, so all you got to do is go there and see what they had to say. Tonight was just bonus coverage brought to you by Big Z Sports.
Yep, absolutely, and great to have everybody here. And you know, one of the coaches that couldn't be here tonight, Matt Lancaster for the Indian Valley Braves. Shannon, of course, can talk about that and the program that Coach Lancaster has put together over there. A lot of big expectations this season. A lot of talent coming back for the Braves, and it should be an interesting season, especially coming off a regional finals appearance against Steubenville last year.
Yeah, they had a great run there at the end of the year, and about the second half of the year, the team really got going together. The first half of the year, they've gotten good at putting together a very tough schedule against Dover and Roosevelt come over, and it was a good first half to get them ready for that second half. And the IVC is just a gauntlet, with Garraway and Ridgewood and those guys, and they were ready come playoff time. The coaches had them ready, and they went on a nice little run there and got to the regional final before they ran into one of the state powerhouses in football.
Yeah, when you run into a blue blood like Steubenville, and it's tough. And we did that game, and that was a tough one to call because we don't like seeing blowouts by any means. We like seeing them if it's our teams blowing another team out that's not a local team. But we love seeing our teams win, and when they don't win and they get beat like they did, it's tough.
It is, but you got to learn to win. And I know that sounds so cliche, but you really do. Your success is built on the backs of the guys that came before you. And when you get to that level for the first time, Steubenville's there year in and year out. That's nothing new for them. Their coach has been there for 8,000 years, and they've had a lot of success, state titles in Division III, Division IV. They've been there. Indian Valley got there. Now they got to build on that, but you learn on the back of the guys that came before you.
Absolutely, and if you look at Indian Valley's team coming back, some key returners, the name that sticks out, and I know, Shannon, you've had kind of a rule for yourself the last couple of years not to really talk about it because he is your nephew, but I think the kid on this team that can help really make this team go would be Colton Thomas, and comes back as a senior two-way player, defensive back and wide receiver.
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife and is going to do a lot of fun things for this Indian Valley team. And that's one key guy coming back. A Quake Beatty on defense, one of the best.
Machine.
Yeah, one of the best linebackers in the area. Fun to watch play. You've got a ton of kids coming back, but those two right there really stand out to me.
Yeah, Quake Beatty is one of those kids. He plays reckless on defense, and he'll have another kid back with him on defense will be Jackson Bertrand. Both of those kids, they line up to smash somebody in the mouth. You got Grady Kinsey coming back on offense as a freshman, over 1,000 yards rushing. Sam Carter will be back at quarterback. Got Tanya McComb coming back. And there's a lot of kids on this team. I have got to know a lot of these kids, a lot of their families over the year, and I could talk about them all year. And one thing I've said the last 3 years, I wouldn't talk about Colton. I wasn't going to be that person that talked about my nephew because I didn't want to make it look like he played favoritism. Well, this year, I'm sorry to say it, he's a senior. It's his last year, and he deserves all the recognition he gets. And his teammates will tell you he's a good athlete, and Colton will sit here and tell you every kid on that team what they do and how much they mean to that team. And he's a great athlete, and I think the offense is going to go through him and Grady Kinsey this year, and they'll have Tyson Pryor back to help them this year. And there's some other kids that can step up. The biggest question mark this year will be it's a young offensive line, and we'll have to see how the coaching staff prepares them.
Yeah, Shannon, they went to the regional finals. They've had a lot of talent back, so they're going to have the target on their back week in and week out. Let's talk about the early schedule there a little bit, and people are going to be coming for them because of the success they had and who they have coming back.
Yeah, early schedule, they're starting off with a couple new opponents. They got Akron Elliott week 1. And I don't know much about them. I just watched a preview on them the other night, and they look like they got a nice little football team. And then they go against Meadowbrook, and Meadowbrook's been down for a couple years, and so it'll be interesting to see what they got going. So there's 2 games right out of the gate before you run into Dover week 3, and once you run into Dover week 3, and then they got another tough challenge on week 5 when they play St. Clairsville. So week 3 and week 5 are 2 big dates on their schedule before they get to the IVC. Those games will prepare them for the IVC, but if I know Coach Lank and his staff, they want to win those games too.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. And those tough opponents, as you mentioned, you've got Dover, who last year they played to a 20-6. They got beat 20-6, but I think a lot of people going into that game last year around the area were like, oh man, is this too much for Indian Valley to handle? Is this going to be a blowout? Well, guess what? Indian Valley held their own. Couple mistakes inside the 5-yard line. That's a different ball game if they wouldn't have fumbled the ball away and made those mistakes. Dover capitalized on that and got the win. But like you said, then St. Clairsville, that's really going to prepare them for the IVC South and get them ready for the playoff run.
Yeah, that Dan S. football teams, they are what they are. They didn't become Dover football because they got lucky and won a bunch of games one year, then a bunch of games another year. They've been consistent in this county for how long? Look how old,
with Travis.
Look how old this guy is with Travis. That's how long they've been consistent in this county, and that's what you strive to be. St. Clairsville, they lost
some talent in the skilled spots, but man, that offensive line they got,
Huge.
that's a thing of beauty right there.
Oh.
And it'll be interesting to see what Indian Valley defense can do with that.
Yeah, Shannon, I'm excited for your defense. I thought they played so well last year. You got a lot of those components back. I know you lost a defensive lineman, maybe a linebacker, but like you mentioned, you got Bircher there at linebacker, Beatty at linebacker. You got Colton on the back end. You got some athletes there. Your defense should be the leader of the team early, as the defense is always ahead of the offense at this time.
Yeah, Indian Valley seems to produce a lot of good linebackers. You know, Quake Beatty led the team in tackles last year, actually a school record last year. Jackson Bircher, that kid is a special football player, only a sophomore, I believe. And then he might be a junior this year. I'd have to look that up. It seems like he's been there forever anyhow, and he's only been there a couple of years. But Jackson Bircher, he's a special athlete. And, he's a junior this year. That's on my paper. I should have read that. But you got Tanya McComb, who will be back, and the Cadgett kid will be on the line. I mean, they have a lot of good pieces on defense. They're going to be moving some kids around. I know Tyson Pryor played some defensive line at the scrimmage, and so the defense is always fun to watch in Indian Valley.
Absolutely, and of course, one other team that like you said, we can catch all the other two-a-days on our Big Z Sports Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, when they drop over the next several days and leading up to the season. But one team we haven't talked about tonight, Trav, you're near and dear to your heart. Your son's on the team this year, the Dover Tornadoes. We touched on them a little bit there with the Indian Valley side of things, but as you are around the program more and more now, even as you stepped away from us a little bit, but you're going to be back with the team every week, and your son's as a sophomore going to be there and dressing. And how the Tornadoes looking?
Well, they're going through some growing pains. They graduated a senior class. They got a smaller group. I think they're down to 55 or 60, but the schedule is absolutely brutal for them.
They open up a Green?
At Green. They go first three on the road. At Green, at Canton South, at Indian Valley. It's going to be an absolute war. The field there, they'll be standing room only. And then they get Alder Rice from Pennsylvania, who's hot and cold. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're not.
A couple years ago, they were fantastic.
Yeah, they had a really good tight end. He went D1 and a quarterback. But then they go through the gauntlet. They got Steubenville, Canfield, St. Francis de Sales out of Columbus, Boardman, who's D1, Lindsley, who beat them last year in overtime. Dover did lose 4 regular season games in overtime last year, and then of course the rivalry game. So the schedule does them no favors for growing pains, but they're trying to. They got another quarterback battle for the 3rd year in a row here. They're doing some different things offensively, trying to figure some things out. They've been very vanilla so far because of that learning curve, and when you're subbing people in, you can't teach calculus when they're still learning algebra.
That's a great way to put it. And why is it, and I've been in this area 12 years now, but why is it when like a Dover person or a Philly person talks about the other team, it's always, week 10 we got that rivalry game. They don't ever mention that other team. Why is that? I mean, you're in the media now, so I don't know if you can do that anymore.
Well, it's so respect. We don't want to disrespect anybody.
Sure.
But the rivalry is because it's been around 100 years. Sure. They played 114, 115, 16, 18 games. It's been around since 1896, and it's respect. It's hard played, but that's what makes it so special, because the towns are so close and they're the same size, and they're both great football, and so as much as we respect each other, that's what makes the rivalry great. You have to have a little bit of juice in there to make the rivalry great. Otherwise, it'd just be a regular Friday night in the fall.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for our preview show here tonight. And, of course, week 1 just around the corner. Next Thursday night, me and my man Travis, and I believe Shannon, you're going to be up there with us, right, for Fairless and Sandy Valley on Thursday night?
I think the whole crew is going to be at Fairless on Thursday night. I think Chris will be there and Adam will be there. We're going to bring in, we got our new guy, Blaze McMorrow, is going to be there. He's going to cover Claymont. We got
Dalton Patterson may show up. We
got some new guys helping us out this year on Big Z Sports, and
we're taking over.
Yep. So we're going to be there, of course, week 1 in Fairless on Thursday night. Week 1, night number 2, we're going to be on the hill in Sugar Creek for the Garaway Pirates and Bel Air Big Red. So make sure you stay tuned for that on week 1 of the high school football season. Big thanks to Sammy Sues and everybody involved here tonight, all the coaches that showed up, everybody that came out to watch the preview show, and thanks for you watching at home. Lydia Brady as well for Claxton Communications. We appreciate her. Until next Thursday night from Fairless, we'll talk to you and see you at the game, everybody.
This has been a special presentation of Big Z Sports. Thank you for joining us for the Big Z Sports Preview Show presented by the Caleb Fell Real Estate Team. Tonight's broadcast was also presented by Sammy Sue's Barbecue, Tuscarawas Insurance Agency, Novellus, TMK Valley Propane, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, First National Bank of Denison, Hartzler's Quality Housing, Wood Electric, Keim Home Center, Niedenthal and Company, First Federal Community Bank, and Dr. Nathan Springer. Tune in August 17th right here on 99.9 WTUZ as we kick off Week 1 of the 2023 high school football season. Follow Big Z Sports on Facebook, on X at @Big_Z Sports, and on Instagram. Until next week, this has been a presentation of Big Z Sports.